honestly, and with no good way to refute, being brought for a brief bit of a brief talk with the priest. She'll be fine.
Okay.
It's Ceres after all.
All right.
Something about not having a license.
Okay.
It appears she'll be indisposed for the time being, however. I'll have that be the consequence of her natural one instead of what was going to happen.
Okay.
That does leave. She has technically unlocked the door. You still unlock the door to the door into the music room.
Yeah.
But, well, now
Yes,
Sarah's unavailable.
let me go and talk to the child with my +0 in diplomacy.
Oh, you can always call your good friend Amanas. He will have a frank talk to the poor child.
Yeah, perhaps. Where are you?
It's
even?
also less about talking to him and more about opening the door, literally, for him to participate in this.
Sure. I'm gonna. Oh, hello.
Outside, meanwhile, Isaac, you're being questioned about. Have you seen any suspicious individuals?
Well, yes, me. Hello.
The guards have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah. So dark. I mean, I can cast spells using mental
Yep.
instead of verbal, right?
You can treat all spells you cast as subtle spells for our purposes still.
I can just cast a telekinetic hand, which I can make invisible, and just open the door with it from here. I'll post it. It's 6th level, so 60 feet range, and I mean, a bulk 1 or less, I'm sure that can grasp down a lever, maybe.
You project your hand out to kind of open the door there. There's a bit of takes a little bit before a little click occurs and the door you can very slightly nudge the door, that you can't really put much force to do much more than slightly open the door.
Yeah. Isaac is being questioned, but I can still message him.
You can.
I'm gonna ask him where exactly in the room is the boy.
Isaac pauses as he answers the guard's questions with a vague vagary suggesting that he is in fact a guest, but yes, he is suspicious, and you should feel ashamed about thinking that he is suspicious, although Isaac agrees that he does look a bit suspicious. One moment, please. I need to look into this window here. She'll sidestep.
The guards exactly don't want you to go off and start looking into the window right now.
I mean,
are you trying to force your way past them?
No, just basically catch them off guard.
Just need to know where they're in, what square they're in.
What are you planning at?
I'm gonna roll a perception check on the guard to see if they realize what you're about to do.
All right.
They don't know why you're doing it. Different issue, but. Right as you're about to move, one of the guards kind of steps over and puts his hand up, sir, please. Why? What is going on out here? What's with that?
Perhaps you seem to fail to understand that I'm merely a guest in this party who tires of the manifold company in this room, who has decided to go to the garden to relax a bit, and has noticed that it appears the good Lord is being kept captive in that room over there. Not that I want to question anything going on here, but I think I heard something in that room just now. I just wanted to take a look, make sure he's alright and all that, you know?
Please roll to persuade.
Persuade, alright. Isaac sure has a way with words.
I mean, in fairness, you have better diplomacy than certain people.
That's true. He's, thoroughly improvising.
Yeah, you can improvise all your skills. The guard quirks an eyebrow to you. Sir, nobody is being held hostage at the moment.
At the moment, are you planning to have that change in the near future? I mean, this is an outrage.
Are you making accusations, sir?
Absolutely. Against you specifically. What's your name?
Balgriff.
All right, Belgriff. How about we take this inside?
It would be my pleasure.
Oh, it's not going to be your pleasure once the important people here find out that you've been accosting a guest who's just hanging out. Which is the entire purpose of a party, I believe.
You see him place a hand on the sigil on his armor as you hear him speak. Captain Talax, I need your support in the Northern Gardens.
Oh yes, you absolutely do need support. You should call some more people while you're at it. Not that I want to make trouble, but you seem to need the moral support.
I might turn into a big eagle soon.
As Isaac will respond to Vickers via the mental link. I believe he can respond, right?
You can give a
Yes.
single short reply.
You got 25 words.
All right. Bit occupied here, but I can draw more of the guards over to me.
Oh god. That's not make us wanted at all. Alright, well, the door is slightly open, yes.
Very
Like a smidge.
very slightly ajar, though you currently see the courtier out there currently sweeping the floors of the dance hall.
Okay. If I just kind of... Oh, game is paused. I would like to basically step into the room, not towards the door, but is there a way I can get any sort of glimpse into the room whatsoever as I walk past it?
You can try.
I just need to see where he is. That's all I need. I don't need to go in there myself.
You can roll.
I will.
You can try to make a perception roll
Sure.
as you try to casually walk around the empty ballroom.
I assume you want a secret check, or do you want me to roll this?
I'll let you do it publicly.
Okay. I'm hero pointing that.
Yeah. And also, as a reminder, start of session, everyone add a hero point for yourselves.
Oh, yes, that's better.
For the others, currently in the dining room, you've just seen the catfolk paladin at the front gate, as well as one of the guards, walk past you heading towards the garden. As it does appear, security has been called.
Are we aware of any of this going on, like via telepathic link, or what's the...
I don't have a telepathic link. I just
You
message
have
you.
some message spells going on.
Yeah. I'll tell you about Isaac in the gardens. Basically, you need everyone will get that.
Yeah.
You're informed. Isaac's currently in the garden, being interrogated by guards.
Yeah.
And we can go for the room.
No, I just want to send a message in there. He can come out himself, and if that doesn't work, I'll just walk in. It's fine.
Unless Amanus just wants to dive in there.
And he can do what he wants.
No, not if he doesn't know what's going on.
But okay. So, Vickers, you're going to just kind of take a wander around in the hall then.
Yeah, I just want to see if I can catch a glimpse of the boy, just at all.
You kind of wander around a bit. It's not the easiest. The door is only very slightly ajar after all.
Yes.
But let's see, is there actually an angle? As you're kind of vaguely wandering around, you can vaguely make out a pair of small silhouettes currently chatting with each other in there, though you hear no noise.
All right. Well, I know what square he's in, so I'm gonna amp a telepathic message at him, because as long as the path is unblocked, I can go through obstacles, so I can sneak in around the door. And I'm gonna amp
Citrus.
it. Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
I'm going to need you to roll me a counteract check.
Sure. How do I do that?
This will be a roll using your spellcasting modifier, as you're going to be fighting against whatever is soundproofing that room.
Okay. This is just like my spell attack roll, I guess.
Your spell
or-
attack roll will be fine for this.
Oh, I can just roll.
Yep, you should be able to roll it straight from your spellcasting section.
Oh, I need to target. Well, I'll just roll 26.
The DC is based on the target's effect level. Your spell level that you use also matters. I guess that would be a 6th level.
He spent a focus point, which means this counts as a 6th level spell.
Yeah.
If you cast it as a normal cantrip, just nothing would happen. But
Yeah.
you did use a focus point, so this is a leveled spell officially.
So even if the 26 fails, it would still counteract a 5th level spell.
Yes, which is actually is what's happening in this case. It's not quite enough, but you still dispel everything a 5th level, well, override anything a 5th level or lower, which does apply here.
All right.
As you feel resistance, but you get the connection.
Okay.
This is the point where you actually use the command to make him attack someone.
Yeah, well, I'm actually gonna like let him use that, but I will first basically say to him, oh god, what am I gonna say? Good Finian, I believe now is the time that you can finally rejoin the party that has been thrown for you. The door is open. You may leave as you please. And if he wants, he can use his reaction to stride on out of there if he wants.
He will do that, actually, spending his reaction.
Yeah.
How far does a stride get him? Gets him right up to the door. Need to roll a check here. Right. Give me a moment.
Sure. Oh, that's good or bad.
You're not entirely sure what happens, but when you see him moving, he's moving in a... He's kind of rushing to the door very quickly, using your telepathic message to get him that extra kind of distance.
Yeah.
And you're not entirely sure what happens, but there is a very loud crash as he quickly steps out the door and closes it behind
Oh. All right.
It appeared someone or something didn't want him to leave.
Awesome.
But, well, the extra distance from your message. Well, got him to the door. And he succeeded in acrobatics to slip out.
Fair enough. Oh, he's already guards at the door. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
As you see, kind of quickly rushing out of the. Also, to the surprise of the court, he kind of turns around a bit confused. She looks like a bit just like eyebrow raised of why like the young lord just sprinted out of what she thought was an empty room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As he kind of steps out and kind of looks over towards you.
Yeah.
He's going to very quickly move, but make like a motion for you to follow.
Sure. I'm following him. All right. Oh. Secret in here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You saw him slip down.
All right.
As you can hear like some commotion from behind you. It appears whatever guards were in that room are going to indeed try and look for him.
Can I lock this door?
You can close it, and you can use your thievery to jam it shut if you want to.
Yeah. I think I will. Just for a moment. Let's see. Thievery. There you are. That's a 30. All right.
You managed to jam the lock shut that anyone will think it's probably locked.
All right. As I'm following, can I shoot off a message to Amnes just to let him know that the kid is out and we're hiding from the guards in the bathroom? Perhaps your presence might be appreciated. I'll turn over.
As Amnes get rather unusual pinged with.
All right. Well, at that point, then Amnas will spring into action.
That's always a worrying sign.
It is a worrying sign, and some Imperial Majesty can certainly be applied in such situations. I think I will do as follows. He will spend a focus point to cast Athletic Rush on himself.
Jesus, just sprint out.
Yeah, and he's just like a fucking jet, a bat out of hell. He will just like exit the room.
I'm gonna call upon your divine might to suddenly rush. Okay.
Yep.
Right. One moment then.
Who were you talking to previously? Who were you next to?
Oh, that's
He had been briefly speaking to actually beforehand. The dear Caladan, though he's currently stepped out of the room.
Yes. There's something strangely familiar with that man.
Strange that.
We'll never know.
Yes. Yeah, I can't move because it's paused.
It is boss. Stuff has happened.
Where you will like here? I'm gonna like come charging in here. I assume you're in the lower room here.
I have the door jammed. I tell you that. At least.
Yeah, but
So don't come barging into it.
yeah, as you rush down there at full speed, you see a pair of. They look like the normal Ron bodyguards you've seen around, though their armor's a little bit. I'm gonna get this to Amnes more as from your own background training and your warfare lore.
Mm-hmm.
Their armor looks off. They don't look like the traditional knights you have seen on guard.
Okay.
The armor's almost slightly misfitted, like these guys aren't used to wearing this particular uniform.
Hmm.
And there's even a slight shimmer around them as if magic running a ward.
Okay. This guy.
You come barreling down the hallway, regardless.
Yeah, this guy who's like in the front here, as comes rushing down the hallway, he will roar at him, "Stand aside, foul knave!" If that works. Try to intimidate him. A 33.
Pretty decent.
He does have a minus because of the Aura of Despair.
Which does make the difference here.
Yeah, see?
As he stammers a little bit. As he was in the middle of talking with the other guard of where did he go? And then you just come barreling down. Just out of the way, you knave.
Yep.
He just stumbles backwards into what over here?
That's right.
As they both look really confused at what's going on as you charge down.
Amanas will move there, and then he will look at this guy who's closest, and he'll basically roar to him, "There's an altercation in the garden. Get there immediately."
I'm gonna need you to roll me another intimidation check on this.
Sure.
Or diplomacy, your choice.
No, I'll go intimidation. It's what I'm best at.
So obviously, it looks like they were busy with something else at the time. But on the other hand, you're being quite forceful.
There's a crisis in the garden.
Oh damn!
There's some sort of
Poor Isaac, he's just getting like 50 guards.
there's some sort of hobo trying to.
Well, this is great. This is great.
I'm just gonna drag them over. More security is showing.
There we go. Yeah, I imagine you heard Amnas like roar at these plebs outside the door.
I mean, also you charging now with athletic might kind of sounds like someone just let like a horse stampede down the hallway.
I leave with frightening speed for someone as heavily armored as he is. After that, Amnas will position himself here, in front of the door.
Good sir, what's going on in the garden? Do I need to be alarmed? Do I need to alert the Lord?
You should probably be in the garden as well. That's probably for the best.
There's a suspicious man.
There's a.
There's not much I can do in a security threat.
You just make sure that no one steals the silver. Yes, Amnas nods. He has heard of ruffians doing that.
You know, I should secure everything for right now.
Good day, good lady. As he closes the door.
She pulls the doors shut, like really, like a bit worried about what's going on. She doesn't know what's happened.
Oh, all right. Amnas will.
Which now technically leaves Ceres locked in the area, but that's a different issue for her later.
Well, she can get out, I'm sure.
She got herself into that, yeah. While this commotion is going on, I look to the young lord here, and I ask, were you held captive, or were you just told to join?
He sighs a little as he can look. Better A, better B? He kind of looks very frustrated towards the door. Though he looks like he's got a bit of a relieved look towards you.
Not to worry, my liege is outside dissuading anyone who wishes to interrupt us, but you say a bit of A, bit of B. Are you in active danger right now, then?
He pauses and hesitates as you ask that. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, maybe you could explain the maybe then.
He pauses. I'm pretty sure someone in the court is going to betray me.
Any idea as to who?
Not 100%. I want to blame it all on my regent, but I don't know if he's just being greedy.
I guess not. Well,
They
not to worry.
They don't really think I suspect anything, but I've seen more than they want me to know.
Well, given how quick you reacted to the opportunity, I think you're quite the smart lad. That said, if someone is out for you, then my liege and I will, well, try and keep you safe. It seems you were prisoner in there, but also an easy target. Perhaps being out in the open with us nearby might be more helpful for you. And he'll start unjimmying the door so Amnas can get in.
He kind of pauses, he kind of looks at you. Did you see, like, a glint of recognition in his eyes? You're part of the Contenders Court. He kind of snaps his fingers away, like he's trying to, like, remember, like, the name.
Yeah.
Wait, did he call me Pretender? Did I hear that right?
No, contender.
Contender, not pretender. Very very like similar, but very different connotation to it.
All right then.
He kind of snaps his fingers a little bit. The throne up north. Brother to the Empress.
Yes. Well remembered. You are
No,
correct.
I remember people talking. Straight. No offense, straight, but they described it as strange man with a crystal horn.
I have heard worse descriptions. I think that's one of the best ones.
As you unjimmy.
Yeah.
As you see Amna standing outside on guard duty, I guess?
Yeah, I guess he's just kind of keeping an eye out. Although as I open the door, I will reach into my coat and hand out an invisibility potion to the Lord and say, if indeed something happens, this should help you go unnoticed.
He looks at it with that kind of look, like he's trying to figure out what it is, but then not.
Yeah. Dickus gives like the stage whisper, like makes you visible, and he'll
His eyes widen slightly.
Yeah.
Someone else will eye the kid. What's his feel on the boy? Sense motive.
What exactly would you like to learn here?
His general state of mind, I think. Just try to read him, like what's he's thinking and all this.
Okay. You can definitely roll a perception to try and like get a hunch on his state of mind. He's definitely a little scared right now.
Right.
Not entirely an unreasonable thing if he does believe someone might be out after him.
Technically, he cannot be unafraid around me if he started to be afraid. He can never be not afraid.
For this purpose, I'm going to say your aura only applies if he's afraid of you or your party.
Yes, that's fair.
I mean, technically, you could just impose it that everyone around you is just constantly afraid.
Amnes will look at him and say, if something happens and you need to get out, you drink that potion and you come to our mansion. And yet exactly our address, but I'm sure Amnes would remember.
52 Avenue.
I mean, thankfully, your address is the only other mansion on the island.
There
So
you go. You can find
there are only 2 mansions on this island, out and the Blue Palace. So there's not a whole lot of places to get lost.
He looks at Vickers and says, so, rescue the kid, I suppose. What do we do next? That is the problem.
Yes, well, we have our resident druid probably accosted by the whole guard right now.
Yeah, Amnes nods. I believe I saw most of them rush in that direction, yes.
But the question is, and he like turns to the Finian here, do you want to leave or do you wish to stay?
Kind of pauses for the moment. It might be best to just, if we can, just slip out of here. They're not gonna take lightly to me being out and about.
That's nods. And then looks at Vickers and says, we can certainly extract ourselves pretty efficiently from here. If you can smuggle Finian out with a potion. Isaac can just fly away, being a squirrel or something. I don't know his powers, but I don't think anything else stops me or Seal from just walking out of here.
Oh, there's also Sarah has gotten herself a little bit of trouble.
She's fine.
So You have faith. Ceres can probably survive an interrogation.
She could teleport away if need be. Like, she's fine.
Very well. I will escort Finian out of here
Nods.
and handle the rest.
Indeed. As we'll walk out here and have a bit of a look-see. There's a lot of guards down there. We have invisibility, so we can walk out.
Yes, so Vickers himself is going to cast his own invisibility on himself, while like motioning to the young lord to take his.
Finian opens the door. Though it does take him a brief moment where he gets kind of, well, that cork is a bit too stuck in, but it gets out.
Yeah.
Downs the potion as he fades into the background.
Vickers will take his hand, and say quietly, "Just follow my lead." And he will basically try and sneak out of here using his quiet ally's feat, so that he can follow the expert and roll a single check.
So I'll be in this case follow the master. In this case, but yes.
Indeed. We'll see how that goes. I don't know what his modifier is, but
It uses the worst of your modifiers, but
he acts as if he's trained, and he also gets a bonus +3 because I'm master.
yes. In this case, he was actually already trained, but he still gets the +3 on top of that.
He
Which
does
is...
get the +3 on top, yeah.
We shall see.
Okay. 19. Good job.
Boy's a ghost.
I mean, as it stands, yeah, that party extracts with, despite having to walk past, a literal armed room of guards. They can extract.
See ya.
Zero complication.
Once we're adequately away, Vickers will send a message because it's 500 feet, so we could probably angle it in the door or window, Aminus, to say that it's successful.
Which leaves CL, Aminus, and Isaac.
CL is gonna send a subtle message to Isaac to ask if he needs a distraction.
A slight pause. Isaac can respond, right?
Yeah,
you can spend an action to respond.
CL, I am the distraction.
I sent another subtle message to you. Another distraction get away.
Like, I sort of want to know how this will actually play out. What are they gonna do? Arrest me?
A third message. Okay, if that works with you. Other than that, Seattle hasn't really nothing else until the situation escalates. So, he's been up-to-date information.
Okay. Around the back with Isaac, it is a constant back and forth right now.
What am I being accused of here?
I demand to know this instant, but...
Just kind of reading through your messages in chat. Oh, you breeze haters. I need more people. Yes, in fact, Lord Xeon has also come outside to see what the commotion is right now. And, well, you've summoned half of the House Armada here.
The garden is off limits, then you ought to put up signs. That's on you.
Can nature even be off limits?
Monstrous.
As some of the bodyguards start reporting to Sir Talix about how you were resisting questioning and how they had gotten multiple reports of someone suspicious out in the garden. peeking through windows.
It is a sad state of our society when standing outside in the garden is suspicious. Isn't a garden here to be enjoyed?
You're not wrong. um,
Why don't you roll diplomacy to see how the situation is progressing?
Diplomacy, okay.
Or deception, your choice. So,
I mean, I feel like deception is more appropriate for this because Isaac is having a lot of fun here.
this is true. Same bonus for you though. So,
It's same bonus, yeah.
as some of the guards are insistent. On the other hand, Sir Talix is just looking like he's getting a migraine right now, listening to the back and forth. And then there's Lord Xeon, who kind of listening to this going back and forth. What rubbish is all this? Look, my good sir. Look, my good sir. You're a man of independence. I like that.
That I am, very much so.
Ignore these armored twats. Come, let's go get a drink.
Yes.
Lord Xeon, what are you doing? And some of the guards look over. And Lord Xeon doesn't seem to care. Walking.
Lead the way, my good man.
As the other guards look like they're doing something, and Sir Talix just puts a hand up like, don't you dare. As Lord Xeon isn't sure what's going on, but you made something entertaining happen, and he quite likes that. This party was getting far too drab and boring.
Oh, I know. It's just so many people here, and all of them are talking words that make no difference to anything at all.
Words for words' sake. So it's all just a game of pretty politics to most of them.
Oh, yes. Oh, look, Eminus. Hey, come out here. Weather's nice.
Oh, is that the revered? My. He kind of briefly rubs his eyes and kind of staring at the figure marching out clad in spiked armor.
yes. Crack of Sulcer on his back. Amonas will look over to Isaac and says,
That's the halberd as described. Storm Terror. Lord Amonas, it's an honor to be in your presence.
Amonas blinks, somewhat in surprise, and says, well, much obliged, I'm sure. I do not believe we have been formally introduced.
It's been a long time, I'll admit. I'm Lord Xeon of House of Refrian. Admittedly, last time I saw you only came up to your father's knee.
Amonas will rack his brain to try to remember anything about this person with a society check.
You can roll a society check. It's going to be a very hard one, but see if you do.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this guy is.
6.
You know, Amonas, you vaguely have a memory now.
Huh.
Though he didn't have the greying hair as he does now. Well, the luscious silver, actually, he does he prefer, of course. You do now vaguely remember him, once serving as military attaché to your father.
Oh.
Bounced
which
you
is-
on his knee once.
You're talking a lifetime ago, but still.
Alright. Amonas nods and says, yes, Lord Zion, I believe you served as my father's military attaché. Is that correct?
Indeed. It's actually quite a pleasure. Pleasure going around and boasting of the Empire's glory in the other realms. It was, well...
But, good heavens, Lord Zion, that must have been, well, in Amonas rack his brain, 50, 40 years ago. You are in surprisingly good shape, good sir. I commend you for your healthy living.
Tea, daily exercise, and a shot of gin. Very good.
He nods. Yes, quite. Oh, speaking of a shot of gin.
Ah, yes. Can I introduce you to this good man I've just met? Quite interesting company.
Oh,
We have met.
Ah, Isaac. Yes, of course, of course. I am happy that you have met Isaac. He is my is Isaac's position on the council sage?
Some would call me that sometimes, yes.
He's the royal soothsayer.
Ah, you're one of those tree speakers. I understand. Yes.
Amanas nods. Yes, yes, yes. You remember?
You should. We really should sit down and talk more about this.
He nods. Of course, of course. You do remember? My the imperial old soothsayer, Lord Zed, I presume.
Oh yes.
Yes,
How
yes.
how is he doing? I bet he doesn't look any older at this point.
Well, I'm afraid the good Lord Zed has passed on. I am sorry to say. But
My condolences. His wife was amazing to work with.
you know, so of course. As he like sort of looks over towards the guards over there, see what they're up to.
They're all very confused, and Sir Talix is currently like scolding them all for like, what the hell were you doing?
Yes. Amanas moves. Oh yes. Let's get some refreshments, shall we?
Sure, although you see, I've actually brought my own. I don't trust any of this. Not out of suspicion, but rather out of distaste for society in general. You wouldn't understand.
Oh no, I perfectly understand. I brought my own secret stash as well. Don't worry.
Amanas leans over and theater
As he like opens a
whispers,
small flask and adds it into his existing drink.
while Isaac like uncorks a sheep skin and takes a glug of moonshine.
Oh, basically.
I mean, one's got a metal hip flask, one's got a sheepskin. It's the same premise.
Lord Sion, may I also introduce the lovely Lady Seal?
Oh, he kind of pauses as he looks at you. Oh, you look familiar. Should you be familiar? Are you familiar?
Have we met?
If I was
Over
important
dinner?
to you, Lord Zero, I don't think so. No. But I also brought my own bottle. Put a wine bottle with blood in it.
Fabulous.
The good Lady Seal is one of our foremost scholars of esoteric matters at the court.
Maybe I recognize you from the old Archmage's quarters or something. Then yes, maybe something like that. He seems very unsure where he remembers it from. Like it's clear he recognizes Seal, but can't place why he remembers her.
Let's go with that story, Lord Zero. I think that is perfectly fitting.
That is interesting. Why he would?
Now, look, to be honest, this entire party is more just a faux pas for them to show their to get their busyness down. You know how it is. Get for all the busy work of the meet and greets and saving face.
Of course.
Honestly, I'm too old at this point for all of that. Why don't all of you come and join me for a nice drink at my local estate? I keep a vacation home out here in the city.
Seems like a capital idea.
Blow this popsicle stand.
It's time for me to jet.
As he's going to invite you to follow him.
Yeah. Amanas will make a mental note of the cat folk knights or Talax. There is something with that cat folk paladin that intrigues him.
Rather firmly disciplining the guards right now for being idiots.
See?
I'm probably a little bit mischievous as we leave.
Likes this. Yes.
If I can. I want to be mischievous.
How would you like to be mischievous?
I'm gonna cast a subtle spell to the garden direction, generally, of a phantasmal minion. And I'm gonna give him simple command, try to escape, by jumping through the walls. Oh, escape the estate. Because it's a phantasmal of done invisible or humanoid Epicurean apparatus. So, just be a little mischievous. It's shadow spell. They don't know about it. Who cast it? I'm gonna focus that until we leave the building, since we are leaving the building.
As small chaos erupts in the garden, as one of the guards, to get out of the scolding, points out, "Look over there," and you can imagine how the rest are going to go.
Look out! It's a suspicious child.
I'm gonna shrugs at Isaac and then gives him like a thumbs up.
Aria, my dear, I'm returning to the estate, please.
Mouths over to the Duchess. Rest is on you. And then
She looks at you like she's so done with this right now.
Get me out of here.
Sadly, there's no pulling her out of this situation. So
gives
she's currently orating in the trophy room right now.
Yeah.
She can't get out of it.
gives Count Ike Redhorn a mental bro fist bump and then follow.
The nod.
Yeah. Nice to meet some friends.
Lord Brofist.
Lord Brofist. Lord Brohorn.
I generally didn't think that I'd be able to get away with that.
As Lord Van Horn looks over to all of you, "Oh, are you all leaving already?"
Hey.
Yes, I hate it here.
The dear Mother Brenda looks a little offended. Did you see that?
Amanas looks over to Lord Van Horn and says, "Please excuse him, Lord Van Horn. He is drunk and a hobo." Yes.
Isn't he of your
Oh, you
own?
haven't seen nothing yet.
Amanas, like, sort of rolls his eyes like, "Oh." It's very difficult to find good people these days, I'm sure you know. Now then.
What? Yes, of course. I do hope we can have longer to sit down in future and have a chat.
Absolutely. We shall be delighted to entertain such a proposal. I am sure we can schedule something.
May you have a safe evening, all, in the light of the Allmaker.
Yes, quite so. We'll seem to extricate ourselves. Or anyone checks into that room any further.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one has
Mm-hmm.
Well, currently, most of the people who would check are currently confused why guards are all running around to the garden.
Yeah. And now you all have an alibi. You're with someone.
Oh, yes.
I don't, but I was never here in the first place. So.
I mean, you barely remember you anyway. Like, who was that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I need my stuff back. Hello, someone.
On your way out, the guards here will happily return any equipment that they confiscated.
Oh yeah, grab my stuff. Oh no, actually I never gave it.
Amanas also commits to memory the face of the tired noble up there. He feels like, there is something about him. Maybe some new paintings for one of the.
Are you thinking of sponsoring a new retainer as a court artist?
Yeah, a little bit of something of the local flair for the new East Gallery.
Because you are able to hire lesser NPCs as retainers, of course. So he could add a bonus to your capital's culture by having him.
And Dread, I hope.
Possibly also Dread. Actually, let's be honest, there's an entire possibility that his special action from being a retainer would just be make paintings, increase Dread.
Just make sure you don't get a revolution by making them.
Oh.
Actually, don't force the creatives to do what you want. Let them do it.
Oh no. So it's a.
They'll get creative with your death.
It's a royal dispensation, very similar to how other royals have let artists paint what they want, but with the understanding that if the royal doesn't like it, the money will stop.
Yes, the Royal Patronage Fund.
Yes.
Or royal adjacent works. Very strict application.
Yes. Put Seal down as the chief curator. She knows what I like.
All right.
Not
Well,
intractable. Yes.
we kidnapped kids, or
No,
I
no, no.
guess
We rescued.
re-kidnapped or
Liberated.
unkidnapped. Yeah. All right.
Sprung.
There's no kidnapping involved. There's only rescue.
Sprung the
True.
kids.
You know, that's what the propaganda will tell you.
Yes. Yes. That's official propaganda.
Will you take Lord Xeon up on his invitation right now?
Kind of
I
And
think
the
you
seal will.
should. You should for an alibi. You need an alibi.
Yeah, we need an alibi currently.
Sarah's is in being interrogated. She didn't do shit. You guys need an alibi, and who knows where I am.
So.
Many guards can confirm where Isaac was at all times.
Yeah.
This is true. As you were taken then to a beautiful riverside manor house. By Lord Xeon and his retainers. While where is Vicus going to slink off to?
How far is it back to like our place from here?
Not far.
I would basically like to attempt to get there. Is Theo with us? Like,
Theo was not in the party. He's somewhere
okay.
around.
Somewhere around. Maybe I can like once I get close enough, I can message him to come meet us for some extra security, perhaps. But otherwise,
You can definitely summon your you definitely summon your squire if you need to.
yes, we need some assistance getting back unnoticed. So
Very well.
yeah. But yes, the plan is to bring him back to our place for now and assess the situation after that.
You can definitely do so.
Don't really want to hang around the streets with him and then get sniped. You know, that'd be awkward.
Not that there's an assassin about. Wait.
True.
But that's not an issue. You're able to sneak him back to the manor you've been given in the Blue Palace here. You have your like token retinue of guards outside of it that you brought.
Yes.
Though you don't have a whole lot. It's not like you brought a large force with you.
That's fine. As long as I can make sure, or like maybe attempt to make sure that we're not being hailed.
You can try and make sure you're not being tailed.
Yes. What would that be?
You can roll a
Perception?
hidden stealth roll
Hidden stealth roll. Okay.
to try and throw off the trail if anyone is following you. You believe you've thrown off the trail
All right.
as you slip back into the manor. Okay. As for the moment, then, the evening will progress rather well. Perhaps the most peaceful it's been now, for the moment. Well, for you guys, the most peaceful. Unless you are regaled to various tales of your father's heroics.
That's not too bad.
As Lord Xeon, he greatly remembers many things the Empire has been up to, many things your father had been up to.
Oh, this is simply delightful. Amnas will in return regale him of some of the stories that, of his adventures.
He'll enjoy a nice drink of you playing over some military chess.
Yes. Amnas must also, of course, inquire to why Lord Zion, such a esteemed and, as he would assume, ancient man, is doing here of all places.
At this point, what authority I have, well, many do not want an ancient man like me in a position of power anymore. They all know the The Reaper is going to be due one of these days. Though, nonsense to them. I'm as fit as I was at 35.
Amanus, does his best to not do a spit take from his lemonade that he's drinking.
You certainly look so, Lucian.
But, despite that, despite my power having waned over the years, I still command much respect. And with all that was going on here, I thought it my best interest to, well, keep my ear to the happenings, as they young'uns would call it.
Yes. What's hip on the streets?
Much is happening in the Empire right now. And well, I know my skills are still of value somewhere. I'm not ready for retirement quite yet.
So, Amanus wants to try to suss out like his current position. Like, what is his current status in the Empire? Is he employed by the Crown? Is he like some sort of agent? Is he, as he claims, rejected and like out on his luck a little bit? Because if he is, this is a charming old fellow we could use.
You are free to roll a society check. Everyone with you is free to roll a society check.
Ask him a little bit. Oh my goodness.
So, Seal, you know how he mentioned he recognized you but didn't know where from?
Yeah.
You definitely recognize him.
And where from?
So, Lord Sion, for many years has been a prominent noble in the Empire. Very much not having lost much of his position of power, but still being able to pull many strings. Still having enough influence to be able to pull strings in the background, command some respect. Even if it's through the slightly veiled, I know where the bodies are buried kind of way. And you recognize him now from when you were younger. Speaking with your family about something.
How old is
So
he?
you don't exactly know what. You weren't really involved in those negotiations at the time, given,
Ciel is only in 20s. Like,
Huh.
early 20s.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like, Ciel is not very...
You would have been a child at the time.
Intriguing.
And you very much remember the same thing about a decade ago of him going around and, well...
Would I remember anything regarding that? What the conversation was about? Is it, is it about Ciel or is it about the family matter?
It's about a family matter.
Okay, then it matters less.
It wasn't directly at Ciel, because Ciel was young at the time. It was more focused on discussion between him and your parents and other family members. Very much about what they're doing for the Empire, their long history, and subtly reminding them that he knows that, ominously, he knows what they did. Whatever that is.
Oh. I want to know more. I guess unsuddenly, Ciel will bring up, oh, Lord Sion, I know where I remember you.
Mm-hmm.
I have met you when I was very young at my family's house. Which, you have visited many houses. But I remember you talking about something at my minor house that I used to belong to did something.
House Corn, right? I remember that now.
Yes, House Kion.
Yes, I remember you. But petite little thing. But you seem like you've got more pale now.
Well, that's what office job does.
Yes, of course. You need more sunlight, more exercise. I have a great training regimen that even you should be able to handle.
I have currently turned under Amanus' knights, so I am currently occupied.
Oh, of course. He kind of looks over. He kind of looks over to Amnus with the "in case you ever need advice." Before, yes.
But Lord Sion, would you mind spoiling me about the matter you talk about? If you remember, I wouldn't mind some. unwanted advice regarding to my family if I need to ever deal with them.
Deal with them?
Politically.
Politically, yes, of course.
Lord Amanas, if you don't know, I am disinherited. I think I mentioned it, but I am disinherited.
Uh-huh. I don't think Amnas has ever really reflected much on Seal's background. The fact that she sleeps sort of in a coffin has like...
She doesn't live in a coffin, she sleeps a lot.
Yes.
There's no coughing involved.
So far.
I guess, like, given her peculiarities, Amnas has just sort of assumed that she spawned somehow out of darkness, maybe? Like, he hasn't really...
Out of band of traveling musicians?
No.
Some sort of gypsy, like he's not...
Yes, Lord Avinas, you have the tendency to take in strays and then assume that you know them, which is okay by me, honestly. I mean,
you have
worked out for me.
you have nothing to worry about. This fine young lady belongs to, though they're not a powerful house by any means, a notable and strong bloodline.
Oh yes, the bloodline is important.
Licks her lips.
There is a little bit of that, I guess.
There is a moment. There is a moment where he kind of looks at you with a slight nod as you're saying that.
Oh.
Yes. You really don't know the history of your own house, Les?
The current moment what my house is doing, but I have some fake information what my house used to do. At least by the inheritance that I know. But, disinherited, so...
Probably a talk for another time, but I might be able to help you in these matters, though it has been a long time since then.
Wonderful. What do you want in return, Lucian?
Oh, don't worry about that. We can discuss that later, over more drinks, hopefully.
Sure.
Well,
he doesn't seem like he's in a full business mood at the moment, but he definitely acknowledges that you can sit down to have more of a talk.
Lord Zion, I do not want to presume or pressure you in any way, but if ever you are seeking some form of new employment or something exciting to do, know that the Ashen Ascendancy are still looking for capable retainers to serve on our councils and our many ministries that we have running. We are expanding quite viciously, and someone of your character and of your great, vast experience would be invaluable to us.
Oh, it's been some time since I've been headhunted like this. He just kind of downs the rest of his drink.
And by a scion of the throne, no less. As Amna smiles at him. As you might know, Lord Zion, or suspected, giving my companions here, that the Ashen Ascendancy is run in a slightly different way than the Empire that you know. I have come to the realization that much of the Empire's problems is because people are simply born into their privilege and their position instead of selecting those who are actually skilled, regardless of their birth and pedigree, and let them prove themselves with actions and service, rather than just being plopped onto the treasury just because you happen to be a spawn of some previous treasurer. This makes the...
You are remarkably different from your father.
Amnas nods. It was not always so, Lord Zion, but I have learned my lessons well, and I have seen that something different is needed for this to change for the better. And so, many of those who serve on my council and as my close advisors are people of all manner of stripes. Good Isaac, for example, looks him up and down.
I am perhaps the best example indeed. I have no fancy bloodline to boast with, but I do like to think I've proven myself through actions.
Nods. Invaluable. He has a interesting perspective that I feel changes the ascendancy for the better when he is asked for his opinions. Single tear for the crows.
Bloodline, smudge lines. You know the number of good warriors I have seen be held back purely because they could not get educated the same way a knight would.
Exactly.
They would easily exceed most on some people's forces, but they'll never be given that chance, never be given the equipment. Lots of lost potential.
Nods. Which is why we're instituting a new Royal Knightly Order. But imagine what we can do, Old Zion, with some careful and flagrant disregard of tradition.
Careful, the church might get you for those kind of words.
The church.
He says we look like he doesn't care.
Old Zion, we have, believe it or not, quite strong connections and alliances to the church. Something that we have fostered once again by correcting their mistakes and listening to them when they are wise, which they are sometimes. It is about forging something new. He looks around. A sword or a halberd cannot be forged with only pure material. There needs to be a little mix of things in there for the steel to become flexible and sharp. Otherwise it is brittle and breaks at the first strike.
Sam, let's put points in craft. Feels like he needs to put points in craft.
Yeah, I had a point in craft, but he read this in a book somewhere.
Lord Zion nods, stroking his rather luscious facial hair.
Mm.
We don't think too dissimilarly, you know. I mean, I'm sure you have noticed my company over there by the bookshelves, as he gestures over at the blood elf currently standing at the bookshelf.
Yeah, Amanas has pointedly ignored her for most of it. But
We are in a time where old convention no longer holds its same weight. The cracks of the old are showing, but they give way for new things to rise.
that is my ambition. I do not require your answer here and now, Lord Zion, but I would ask you to at least consider my offer. A man of your talents would be much appreciated in the Ascendancy.
Feel free to roll a diplomacy roll against him. People may assist if they so are inclined.
Sure. I feel like I said a few words that justify assisting.
You're proving the king's willingness to deviate.
Hey.
I mean, that's a success, not a crit.
Yeah, +1 then. Are there any bonuses from Seal? Is she playing music or anything?
I mean, I can. But,
It's up to you if you feel like she
it-
would have done that during the meeting.
I mean, she can always entertain.
That's,
just by a
that's sort
command.
of what I have assumed. Like every time she's around, that she's like playing some music in the background, but maybe.
There is constant background music wherever she goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has her own musical theme. Alright.
Although I do like the idea whenever Amnes walks into the room, the musical theme immediately gets darker.
The boss music start to play when Amaras gets in the room.
I have my own boss theme.
Oh yes,
Alright.
it's very dreadful.
I want to imagine it's like that, like really like menacing kind of boss music that's like inspired by like church choir music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very much like, we've got the Death Angel kind of appearing in the room situation.
Yes, yes. So, what type of bonus do I get from this?
It depends on key on benefit, but it's usually like +1.
+1 status?
Status. Yeah, bonus.
Yeah, you'll get +1 stats from the music, and then a +1 circumstance from being assisted.
Alright, let's go. 40. That's a 19
that's
for
pretty
you.
good.
And in true tradition
Yes,
of Amorous
yes.
attempting to recruit people,
I always roll well on
I
this one.
do. I don't know why, but I really do.
Do it.
I want to remind you, similar roles were also made in recruiting a Medusa.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Part of our unconventional approach to state building.
You were not given
Amulet reminds me of Nick Fury recruiting for the ascendancy.
You
Tasty that eye
were not
patch.
given an immediate answer, but you do feel like you've made a favorable impression.
Very good. Very good.
You may not get a proper answer out of him until the end of the summit, however.
That's fine. He has been given some food for thought, and he actually seems like a pretty good guy. That might be useful for us.
Yeah, he's very talented.
As then, day 3 finally comes to an end as you return back.
Someone get some pajamas for this.
I'm sure we can scare something up. But we should probably talk to him a bit.
Yes? I assume I had time to have a chat with him.
You would.
Get the basics of why the hell he's stuck in a room.
As you can, I suppose, the kind of, Vickers sits Finian down as you kind of get back. Though he definitely looks far less scared now at the moment. As he kind of wanders in, looking around at the building.
Setting that up.
What was that?
Peaceful bubble. Starting to set it up.
I assume that's already a bunch of running around your personal residence anyway.
Yeah, but just for like around the kid.
Once you get back. Okay. As what is there anything Vickers wants to open with, or would you like a prompt here?
I would basically like to get him situated first. I'm not gonna bombard him with questions as he walks in. Sit him down and get him some tea or whatever. And then I would very much like to ask who exactly made the decision to keep you in the room, first of all. And given that, he has suspicions that someone is working against him, what exactly he heard that gave him such an opinion?
Finian kind of pauses again. Seems like he's perhaps always kind of hesitant before speaking. Though perhaps maybe that's for the best, given his position is not just simply blurt everything out.
Yeah.
Officially, it was my regent, Lord Van Horn, who said it, but I'm not actually sure he was the one who is pulling the strings at it. But for what I heard, he looks towards the window for a moment. The Lord's been meeting with some men I don't recognize. And a woman in particular who... Be honest, she looks like trouble. not in a way I can give you a description of. Like, it can look. You'd find it suspicious too if someone like you couldn't see their face even when you should be looking straight at them, just like obscured by shadow.
Hmm.
As he kind of gives a vague description of some woman somewhere around 5'9" ish, dressed in rather distinct looking leather armor, but their face completely concealed by magic.
Okay.
This rings a bell to Vickers.
Yes,
That's,
that's
similar,
the.
that's very similar to the assailant that came after all of you.
Well, Finian, if I can be as frank as to call you such. That woman that you described seems very much similar like the woman who attempted to, let's say, violently intervene one of our past social gatherings here. So I think are well. Your suspicions are well founded, for sure.
And again, who's that kind of warding up when you're having a chat with someone?
Yes, very much
Kind
so.
of sus, you know.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they didn't know I was watching either, which made it like, paranoid.
Yes, well, I'm happy you did not get noticed because that probably wouldn't have been good for you. But you seem to have some sort of knack for getting yourself in and out of trouble without much problem.
Yeah, we do. He says we, you suddenly realize you're not alone in the room. As you notice, kind of literally just walking out of the inky shadows, a cat.
He will look. Cat. I don't believe we've been introduced.
As the cat does a slight bowing motion. As Finian looks to him and gently pets him. He's my familiar.
Ah, I see.
And he's pretty sharp, pretty smart, and also really hard to notice. Aren't you? As he kind of starts gently stroking him under the chin.
I assume especially great for listening in places where you're not supposed to be listening, right?
He nods. I can see through his eyes. I can keep an eye on what's going on around the house, even though they wouldn't let me near them. They try to keep me out. They try to keep me out of meetings for my own realm. Fine. Still listening.
Nickus nods slowly. Says, for the brief term, if you are amenable, you are a lord after all, you may do as you wish, but we would plan to, at least for the night, keep you here under our protection. I no doubt my liege will wish to talk to you when he returns from whence he went, but we will try our best to accommodate you. You both, I should say.
You don't know how much trouble we're. You know how much trouble we're both going to end up being in after this, right?
Oh, absolutely. Among all of my companions here of the court, I tend to get into the most trouble. Well, perhaps Ceres does, but we are both indeed troublemakers, but we know how to get out of it. Most of the time. I see this as just another challenge.
He smirks a little bit and nods. Alright, I warned you.
Take your warning seriously, not to worry.
Glad to be out of the house, though.
Yes, I can't imagine how it would be cooped up in well, a single room for hours on end. But you are free to, well, within reason, walk around here. I wouldn't suggest going anywhere near outside.
I'll be fine.
No doubt. If anything else comes to mind you think would help us help you, feel free to let me know.
He nods. With a small smile. Still trying to like reserve what he's saying clearly, but
Yeah. Try to slowly coax it out.
it's quite clear if nothing else, he's glad he's no longer just being like led around on the, you know, gilded leash as it were.
Yeah, he can speak as he wishes here. Do what he wants.
Tell us who we need to kill to get your support in the upcoming votes.
Ah, the true questions. As the rest
Vast
of the group
minority.
the rest of the group will return back very late into the evening. At this point, Finian has retired, but the group will
Yes.
return back.
Because is basically guarding the room that he's sleeping in at the moment. But when everyone arrives back, he will come greet.
On your way,
Is-
on your way back, Amanus, Isaac, and Seal do notice there is an absolute commotion surrounding most of Land's End's island here. As there are guards and scouts, and like they're both city guards and like private guards, like running all over the place, like in search parties, looking around, like looking like the entire region's on lockdown. Absolute pandemonium.
Well,
As obviously they have no idea where the young duke's gone.
how embarrassing for them. But yeah, we will make it.
Maybe
home.
they should hire guards that aren't as easily distracted.
I'm gonna smile slightly. Looks at Isaac and says, I get the feeling that was not the first time you were caught in a garden you were not supposed to be in.
Not. Well, yeah, it definitely was not.
He
Although it
chuckles.
was the first time where I actually felt like even if they tried to do something, they would come to regret it just due to the social consequences of it, which was a novel feeling. Nice to feel important.
Anna smiles. Says, yes. Yes, it is.
You're
Great.
certainly becoming a master of causing distractions.
No, I've always been good at that. Like, that's nothing new.
Good Lord Zion did point something out to me, though. Looking at Seal, it strikes me I know very little about your background, Lady Seal. Perhaps you would
You have
entertain
never
me.
bothered to ask
He nods.
what you want to know.
He nods. It's true, I have not. Well, a little bit of where you came from, and how you ended up in your current predicament, perhaps.
In a shortened story, I am the youngest child of the minor noble family of Kuon. Kuon. Kuon.
Can I mark it on my map?
It is in the southern shores of the Radiant Empire. Somewhere nowhere important, as far as I know. I have two older brothers who, parents, who wanted me to, as many noble tellers, marry me for power or money or any perception. I don't really care of any of that. Unfortunately for them, I seem to happen awaken some ancient bloodline inheritance on my teenage years. Points the hand, the thief, the bit reddish eyes now.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can accept, for the Radiant Empire, a minor noble family to have a vampiric daughter, not a lot of marriage offers. Not really bother for me, but also a little shame for the family. So, until I recover from this curse, which my inheritance is, I am not allowed to use the family name, so I'm disinherited. So, I am still a vampire, traveling bard, who traveled to Silverswift to partake, the party the Duke was throwing up, the Duchess was throwing up, got caught by the Saharas, saved by Vickers, lovely he is, and now I'm your administration. Simple story.
Broke his beard. Yes. I imagine marrying off someone cursed with a form of vampirism might be difficult.
In this empire, particularly, which in regards, well, just Amanas, I do plan to go ahead with my inheritance. But we can discuss the details when you have approved my contributions.
It says, as far as I'm concerned, Lady Seal, it is up to you to decide your destiny. I would not presume to tell you how to handle your curse. It's up for you to decide. If you want advice on it in any part, however, feel free to ask. I can certainly give you my opinion, as I am sure you are aware. My stipulations are similar to what I have said to you in the past. No feeding on loyal subjects, and as long as I do not find a nest of vampires lurking under your command inside my capital, then there's no trouble.
Oh, my plan is only limited to 5, which I count to be the close family. And I don't like, feeding on people without asking. But my problem is more of if I go ahead with my inheritance, I'm going to need some assurances. Which is why I'm betting on you, Amanas, to win.
It's nods. Fair enough. I'm sure we can discuss the details once the time has come.
Yes, I will make a contract.
Very well. And do you know from which family member you have received this curse, to be precise? If it's something that's inherited.
It is an ancient. It is not any of the current, and I don't think it's any of my grandparents, so I think it's grandparents or older than that. It is an ancient blood, that's very good. As far as I can tell.
Very well. That's too bad we do not have access to the genealogical archives of the capital. We could track down a lot of your ancestors, no doubt.
Yeah, I have dabbled, but yes, I don't have the information on hand.
Very well.
The old archive would contain many bits of information tracing back pretty much all the noble families' lineages.
Yes.
Oh, since we're asking questions, just out of curiosity, my king, has Vikas informed you about any recent changes?
Links? Changes to what exactly?
Information spread.
I do not believe I have received any such updates.
Good.
Just looks at Seal, thinning his eyes.
Well, there's a reason why I like Eve, but there's also a reason why some, let's say, council information have been altered and leaked.
Very well. I shall defer to your judgment, but...
No, refer to your spy master. Your spy master is up to date on the situation.
Well, Short Vickers will inform me as soon as it becomes important.
No, he will take care of it. Still makes a bit of macabre joke about that.
Would the group like to officially take a long rest?
Yes, we shall retire.
Yes, I will fill the group in on what Fennin has mentioned so far. And also commend Isaac on his resourcefulness.
Just glad that me enjoying myself was actually useful for a change. I will
So
endeavor
worked
to
out.
do more of that in the most inappropriate of situations. You have my promise.
Wonderful.
Spell slot, spell slot, spell slot, focus point.
Yeah.
Or overwhelming, indeed. Still slightly bloody on my portrait. I can't get rid of it somehow.
Oh, I can clean the blood. There you go.
Hey,
Got yourself shaving again.
I don't shave. I'll let Arkland do that.
Booming. Speaking of Arkland, Ciel will ask if she can join some of the strength training with Arkland time to time when she's awake.
Wants to strength
that?
train under Arkland.
Ah. I mean, Arkland is happy to help with that.
Yeah.
Ciel gives a pitiful effort about it, but
He-
she's getting stronger.
Yeah, he works out in those in one of those like armless tank tops that bros have and a cap. That's what he works out.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, good for him.
Yep.
He has a style for it.
Stuff you can do when you're. How old is he again?
I think.
It's like 17 or 18. So.
Oh, they grow up so fast.
I think he's 17 right now. I'll have to check the calendar because the calendar kept moving so fast.
Alas.
Space of time always moves. You will be glad to know Ceres does eventually return back home after her long interrogation. She just looks fed up and goes to the bed. But yes, the next day kind of rolls around. You're able to get up for breakfast, except Isaac, who presumably goes out to catch wild fish to come back with.
Yeah, he's made like a fishing rod out of a stick, and like fishes in the pond over here.
You don't
Not even doing it off.
just-
Not even doing it off the ocean. You're doing it just in the pond.
Yeah,
The
of
royal
course.
bond.
I thought you were gonna turn into like a giant octopus. He doesn't catch fish, you know.
I mean, if
That'd
he
be a
was
power
doing that,
move.
you wouldn't know.
I like he goes here, the fish.
Yeah, just in the most like
he's the
obvious
laziest fucking
spot.
druid.
I'm just saying, surrounded by water on all sides, you go to the pond.
It's very on brand
Listen,
for Isaac though.
It's about sending a message. The ocean is the obvious spot to fish, but here nobody's doing that.
He's a city druid.
It is a
makes
message for the
sense.
card, certainly.
So,
There are. Isaac gets many peculiar looks as he's fishing in a pond, basically full of nothing but like rare fancy fish. But you managed to catch yourself some breakfast. It's rather
If these
expensive breakfast,
fancy,
but not your problem.
if fish are part of nature, and nature, part of it is eating it. So
You're just using your right of the food chain here.
exactly, yeah.
Everyone else though can sit down for a regular breakfast served by the few servants you have.
Yes, with the good young lord, perhaps.
I mean,
Unless-
before the servants see her, I think Sierra's gonna set like ask because if the Lord needs a disguise before you know.
Yes, I would imagine so. If that can be provided magically, it'd be much easier. But if you just want to change
I
how you
mean,
look, then
the magic won't hold that.
Oh.
I have
Well,
clothing and disguises if you need that.
I think it's prudent, but I think you should ask him yourself. He is certainly more capable of deciding on his own. But you can certainly suggest. I would recommend that.
Okay, she'll go pick like a morning coffee and tea. Brings like a basket of biscuits and things. Clicks on the Duke's rooms.
As you head up there, and as the door opens, what you see is the young Duke, though he's not dressed in the same fineries that you like before. He was dressed in kind of very much courtly look, right? Kind of like very this kind of like fine outfit, kind of mostly tailored to his size, fine boots, etc. No, he's more in, as you kind of see him, in the very much the armor you would expect of like a young squire. No fineries at all, no symbols, no emblems. You actually don't know where he got the armor from. That's a good question.
I see you are already ahead of planning a disguise. Oh, Duke.
I mean, I don't exactly want to be dragged back there at the moment. He kind of looks at the tree. That's for me.
If you want to. There's also dinner and morning breakfast coming up, you know.
Kind of looks at the tray. Grabs actually grabs the coffee of all things off it. Shrugs a bit.
I am here to provide if you want disguises or medical services.
I think I'm good.
Wonderful.
Sort of doubt most people recognize me anyway. They're not really used to talking with me, they're used to talking with everyone around me.
Out of experience, I will say never can be really sure. At least that's what I think Vikas would say. If you need everything or anything, we can easily provide or ask, you know. I think my king will have good meetings with you.
He shrugs a bit as he enjoys the drink you got him before grabbing his bag from over on the side of the room, as well as also what you didn't see him with before, but a knightly arming sword, and which is kind of on his back, kind of I'm like back holstered at the moment more than anything. But then just follows you out.
Sure. Shall we take him to morning breakfast? He doesn't really talk with the Duke, but he will play some music as they go. But yeah.
Has has Sarah's been released from her Custody.
Ceres has been released, but she kind of just got back and just kind of collapsed in the bed.
No, that's fine. As long as she's safe, that's fine.
Yeah, she came back. She just collapsed from exhaustion in one of the beds. Hasn't woken up yet.
I mean, she doesn't wake up until after 3 anyway, so that's fine.
Exactly. Finian kind of comes in to enjoy breakfast, and it even takes Vickers like a brief moment though to fully kind of recognize. Oh wait,
Give a nod of recognition to Seal for her efforts.
She shakes his head. Sends you a quick message, all him.
Well, he raises an eyebrow. Just kind of chuckles to himself a little bit, before he tries to hide it in a drink of coffee.
was the guy munching a giant fish?
Oh well. Is Isaac outside doing that? Like,
Or like
He's saying-
returning at this point. He's
Yeah, I
not
think-
eating the fish raw, obviously, but
Yeah. No, I think I imagine at this point Isaac's come back, cooked the fish, and it's just like you've just got a giant fish in front of you.
yeah.
oh yeah, feel that one yourself.
I heard it was a fresh catch.
Good breakfast. Place is very convenient. Perhaps a little too convenient for my liking, to be honest.
You know we've got like, doesn't this place have like a pantry? And why did you? He just looks at you very confused.
I mean, sure, there's a pantry. I could probably ask one of the servants to bring me some food, but why would I deprive myself of the opportunity to organize food for myself? There's independence to it that I very much appreciate.
Kind of pauses as you say that, and then just like doesn't really say much, just kind of nods. As he's kind of now thinking about what we were saying.
Imagine if you one day decided that you didn't want to live here anymore, you wanted to go somewhere entirely different. If you're used to hunting for yourself, then you're not constrained to only the cities or the towns. You can go anywhere at all.
Sounds pretty
Once
nice.
you get used to the pantry, that's dangerous.
Sounds pretty nice just being able to go where you want.
Oh, it is. Can also be very lonely though. And you don't get to have fun as easily.
I disagree. You can make many songs as you travel.
Sure, but you wouldn't have anyone to play them for, which makes them somewhat pointless.
Yes, you have. You don't have any people to hear it, but you have the nature around you.
I suppose, although I suppose some animals might enjoy song, although
Well, maybe it's just a difference of schooling, you know, or learning.
yeah, that's probably it.
But I do agree. If you can provide yourself, you can just be free.
Oh. Yeah, Finian kind of pauses. It's like Amnes steps into the dining room.
Yes.
Is Amazon armor?
Yes.
As the young Finian, who himself, has ordained to dress himself in the armor of a young squire.
Yes.
No sigils, no regalia on him, but does very kind of quickly kind of stand up as you walk into the room, almost standing a bit of attention as you do.
Oh. My dear boy, welcome to the, well, my abode. That's the adobe something else. My abode, yes.
He doesn't look like he's going to correct you.
Good. Please. Sit.
He kind of cautiously does, but almost like waits for you to sit because of protocol.
Yeah. No, everyone will sit. Very good impressions here so far. I take it that you have been well cared for over the night and whatnot here.
I mean, well enough, though I mostly kind of wanted to be left alone. Kind of too much getting pampered as it is.
Understandable. Now, if you would, please explain your situation to us. We have learned some of your predicaments, which is why we came to your assistance, but I would like to hear a summary from you as well of what is actually going on.
A lot. Honestly, just a lot. There's... He kind of puts a hand to his face. I think kind of... Like, you can definitely see him, like, wondering, like, how freely should he speak at the moment.
Please, do not worry about protocol, just say it plainly.
My entire court is basically a whole bunch of idiots who are trying to backstab each other right now.
And why do you think that is?
That's just politics in general.
As I guess
Yeah,
I'm
but I
wrong.
feel like there's a risk of actual stabbing and the knives in the backs, and you know.
And why do you think that is?
He shrugs a bit. Call it a hunch, but also there are a lot of whispers, a lot of meetings going on in secret that they don't think anyone's noticing. But from my region secretly meeting with strange mages who are coming in from the Empire. To my own court mage, speaking with a bunch of strange elves.
Hmm.
And on top of all of this, seeing some mysterious mercenary with her face covered in shadow, hiding and speaking plainly to someone, I didn't get to see who. And on top of that, I know for a fact that multiple people in the Empire would rather I didn't have my title.
I'm pretty sure that is correct, yes.
I mean, I know for a fact. The Viscount Bask has already twice made a petition for my title to be removed.
Oh, well.
Which, of course, you know, following inheritance, he would be the next one in line.
Yes, indeed.
You can kind of... That one's not particularly hard to see.
Well, I think past will have its own problems soon.
I will be as frank as I can here. We are attempting to build a power base that will rival and ultimately either subsume, reform, or in some way take out the old order within the Empire.
You're here negotiating a deal on the behalf of the Silver Queen, right?
That is part of it. She has her own plans and we have ours, as is always the case in politics. We're backing her plans here because it benefits us and because we believe that there needs to be change within the Empire. My question to you is, what do you want to do? You have indeed titles that could be yours. Well, that are yours. There are some people in the way, certainly, that's trying to stop that, but those people can be taken care of in various forms. If rulership is what you want, you certainly have it. But for some people who are born into rulership, they might not actually desire that, or might desire something else. So, looking to you, is there anything that you actually want? What do you think of all of this mess?
That all the adults around me are idiots. Not you guys, but yeah, my fault.
I see.
I mean, they can't even realize when I'm spying on them. How are they supposed to actually take the big picture into account?
If your court could be cleaned out, and you had the opportunity to appoint new advisors, that'd be something you would be enjoying. Would you like that?
I'd appreciate actually being able to honor my parents' legacy and actually, help guide my people. Especially given how much of he kind of pauses, looks at you, and there's a brief moment where he just kind of stops. Do you the entire empire right now is like all the nobles are just kind of all over the place trying to figure out what to do. And to be honest, you're kind of the cause of it.
We are a symptom of the disorder that is happening. I wouldn't say we are the cause of it. The cause of it is the mismanagement of the empire for decades.
They all blame you.
Oh, of course they do. I am a convenient scapegoat.
Every single like meeting that goes on, every single like official proclamation, it's always to do with the contender or it's the Silver Queen, one of you two stirring up the pot.
We are certainly stirring up the status quo, young master. But underneath that surface, what bubbles up when we stir the pot has been there for decades, if not longer. We are just making it come to the surface. That rot and incompetence and malfeasance has withered away the proud heritage of the Empire. And these fat, indolent slugs and leeches have sucked on the corpse. I don't know how long, but I have vowed to end it.
Kind of weird you saying that. I'm pretty sure I heard someone saying the exact same thing, but pointing that at you.
I'd smile. That is amusing.
The exact same kind of rhetoric saying that you're merely being used as a puppet by Draconia.
Ah, yes, Draconia. That is a future problem to be dealt with, to be sure. To be sure.
There's a lot of people trying to rally support against you, trying to frame you as an agent of Draconia.
He nods. It makes sense.
Draconia saying that Draconia promised you back your throne if you worked with them.
Again, makes sense they would say that. Our attempt is vast and ambitious. And as such, we have turned to a lot of unconventional allies when it comes to our political maneuvering. As I am sure you can see, as it looks sort of as a sweep around the room, many of my most trusted advisors are not what you would call noble people. Rather a mix of interesting and competency.
his eyes kind of scan from one person to the next, showing example after example.
Mm-hmm. I think this is what makes us have the advantage. We take paths less traveled, we have approaches to things that break with tradition. The Empire has grown stale, brittle, and old. It needs to be shaken up. It needs to be changed. Old nobles sitting in old castles, inherited generation after generation, with the only ambition being acquiring more resources or more political influence, but not actually doing anything with it, just having it. When was the last time a nobleman actually proclaimed something good for the people, actually did institute something good for the people that was not higher taxes or a military draft?
Finian's kind of rolling his eyes right now in that very much like, what do you think I'm trying to do kind of look.
He nods and says, "The Ashen Ascendancy can be your ally in your ambitions, young Finian. Irregardless of what the Duchess' plans are, we can be your ally if you wish it."
Her plans here, I'm pretty sure. She wants my land, doesn't she? It's the only thing that makes sense. Be honest here. Is that what she wants? She wants my land?
Pretty sure that's what she wants.
She wants to control the entire coastline, sever the artery for the Empire, and basically guarantee that any trade has to be hers.
Yes.
Yes. You hear his cat mewing to him slightly. He kind of looks to it, nods his head. I can tell, wasn't simple mewing. He was definitely saying something, though.
Secret cat speak.
Apparently the bond between master and familiar can be hard to decode.
I bet that catfolk paladin could have understood this.
Yeah.
Another reason to hire one.
Need that catfolk paladin so much.
Do any of you mention the Catfolk Paladin?
No.
Okay. I'll be honest, I have no intention of wanting to bend my knee to her.
I see. Well, I certainly commend you on your courage to stand against her. And know that I certainly respect you for that choice.
He nods a little, smiling a little bit that you're like supporting his idea. But also that clear look that he has no idea how he's going to, you know, he knows the implications of what he's saying here.
He's a sweet and precocious child, but he is severely out of his depth here.
Mm-hmm.
I will be honest and say that I do not know exactly what the Duchess's plans are for the land that she intends to seize. I honestly believe that under her patronage, the lands will probably not be worse off than they were under the Empire, to say the least. She might even give you a lot of leeway to rule your own lands, as long as you agree to blockade imperial trade in the way that she wishes.
That would turn my land into first target when she goes to war with them.
That is indeed very likely. On the other hand, you can refuse. And in that case, I suppose the offer might go to the dear Viscount. Maybe he is more cowardly and less principled, and will let himself be bought or beaten into submission by her.
He shoots the defiant glance at you, suggesting that. Despite the fact that you can also see the aura fist slowly like pounding away at him for doing that. He's giving you a defiant look.
I mean, as we'll look at him and say, I'm well aware that the Viscount opposes the scheme, but once it is enacted, I do not believe that he will hold fast to his principles. More likely, it seems to me, that he will try to ingratiate himself to the new lord of the land. But
If he has a chance.
But you know him better than I, and can speak to his character, I am sure.
The snake. He'll do whatever he can to be on top.
Indeed. It seems then better as an option for you personally, and for your people as well, that you are in command of your lands. And even though it will be bitter to bend the knee to the current situation, we believe that you will be a better ruler than the dear Viscount, for sure. I would rather see you on the throne, certainly. He sighs. Finally, the last option I would suggest, that if you cannot stomach to rule under the watchful eye of the Duchess, and you cannot stomach the idea of living a prisoner for the rest of your life, you would be welcome, certainly in my lands. The Ascendancy would give you political refuge or asylum, if that is what you seek. Oh.
He kind of looks down at his plate as you're kind of laying out these options to him.
On the map here, could you... where was his lands again? It was down here.
His lands would be the Duchy of Bassica and Cadesia, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, the other option would be, of course, that he secedes to us instead, but I don't think the Duchess would like that much.
That would...
That would be betraying the Duchess's deal.
Yes, that would be unfortunate.
I think Luciel will say a bit. Of course, you have the third option of just staying with the Radiant Empire. That's gonna be really difficult with the Duchess, but it's an option. So I don't want to speak in any favor or ill against the Radiant Empire.
In politics, it is often the case of doing the best of a bad situation. Few of us work with what is most desirable and optimal. You will be forced, in all likelihood, to make a choice, young Finian, of what political moves to make. And you need to decide what principles you wish to adhere to as a ruler. Your own safety, that of your people, and what would be best for them. These are not easy choices.
He kind of looks down contemplatively at his plate a bit more. you mind if I just go think on this for a bit?
Certainly. You are a guest here for as long as you wish.
I was like, do you have any training dummies in this place?
Oh, do we? He will clap his hands and ask Arklan to escort the young lord to the training area.
Since also you said you're still free to we're still speaking freely.
Yes.
You wouldn't mind showing off your skills, would you?
Looks the kid up and down.
You've got your own squire here, right?
An amusing proposition. Looks over to Arkland. What do you say, good Sir Pine? Shall we give the young master a show of what we can do?
Arklan. He nods. He knows he's going to get his butt kicked. But it doesn't change the fact that, like, there's nothing wrong with a good sparring session.
That's right.
Still will follow them. And I will give this to Arkland.
Only to Arkland, though.
Only to Arkland.
Oh, well.
That's
buff Arkman and embarrass Eminus.
As the boss music begins to play, but from Arkland's point of view. Okay. I mean, there is still no way that Arkland's going to win this.
I will assist Arkland with a telepathic message, step out of the way at the last second.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, with both of you helping, then now it might be more possible, but...
Yeah. Do it 3 times, so...
Would be shocked if you beat me, even with assistance.
Put up a good fight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah. In general, like, even with all the buffs on his side, like, you still... If he uses that spell, he's got... 20, 28...
Oh, by the way, sorry. There you go.
Wow.
Nice! I mean, that's pretty impressive at that point.
I mean, it's sparring, right? So what you do is you do general exercises, you do some moves and sets, and then you're like, all right, now we have trained this in, let's go full speed, and then you do that for a few seconds, and you step back, and then you like go over it again.
Yeah, and then like the last one where it's like, all right, let's go till we go.
Yeah.
And then I guess that's when like Vickers and Seal look at each other and they're like, all right.
Yeah, he is still at a major disadvantage though. But he at least puts up a decent show here for it.
Showing that the court has support in its squires.
I mean, to be honest, with all those buffs together, it's going to give Amnos at least make Amnos sweat a little bit.
It's also a show for the young lord that even with so much support, that Amnos can still hold his own perfectly.
Oh yeah. Such power.
I mean, you're also aware Arkland's not going full out because he doesn't want to burn every spell slot he has on you.
Yeah, it's a morale boost for Arkland, but it's also show of force as well, Good all round.
Fine, Arkland needs to gather his party, the one they did some stuff up there in the north.
Yeah.
Going a few more adventures.
You're saying Charlotte should also join on because he's a wizard in the party.
Yeah.
How many level 7 adventurers does it take to take down Amnon?
Yes, I will have other jobs.
A bunch of them.
When you're fighting someone who's 4 levels higher than you, you need a decent party for that at least.
Yeah, I mean, Amanas would be the final boss of their adventure, probably. The Mad King.
Yeah. Finian does seem to be watching carefully as you're fighting, trying to take in what he can, and quite clearly.
You know, Amanas will be happy to train him. If all else fails, he has a potential place in the King's Guard.
An interesting possible scenario, to be sure. I mean, just for purposes, let's. Can Amanas please give us an attack roll?
I sure can.
I just want. Let's just get an idea. You can target Arctum for this purpose.
My. Poor Arctum. Right.
Yeah.
Non-lethal, of course.
I mean,
Today's
of course.
lesson will be about humility.
You wanted to see my power?
Exactly. Do not
Oh, lightning!
not even
Oh my god! Don't kill him.
don't even pretend to think that you can best me.
Jeez, the damage roll as well is almost max.
That would be 3/4 of Arctum's health bar.
But he does get a swing back.
It's true. His chance of hitting is a different issue right now, but we'll figure that one out.
I got this.
Come on, Arkland.
I mean, he's even hasted, which is
Yep.
Should I get some 2 swings?
I give him a reaction to get another. That's what I'm up.
just keep swinging. I see the plan.
Yeah. I know Amis's weak blind spots as much as he doesn't want to say he has any. Everyone does. It's like he's about to go Super Saiyan.
He's not gonna.
No. Not yet.
Not for lack of trying.
Okay.
See?
As he will be able to at least hit Amanas here.
Very good.
Good exchange.
And he can also unleash onto you as part of that blow. How much damage does that do? Let's find out. How much does a level 4 spell do? Is it 48? No, 18 spirit damage.
Damn.
He also heals himself for 18 spirit damage.
Wow.
Ah, nice. Versatile.
Yeah, his entire thing is he can heal himself while also dealing blows. Oh, heal allies while dealing blows, for that matter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Arrow Paladin.
Yeah.
Alright.
In his case, War Priest combined with Paladin, which is a dangerous
Oh, yeah.
combination.
Oh.
Sadly, not a whole lot of allies for him to bounce off at the moment. A one-on-one duel is not actually where champion shines.
No.
Unless you're the selfish Paladin for neutral evil, but...
I mean, yeah, if I was a tyrant, I would be doing very well in duels. But
Yeah, they love a one-on-one.
but I am very nice these days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that,
Just to say, overall, you won.
yeah.
Though admittedly, you know, he gave it a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amanas will pat him, paternally on the shoulder and said, "Good show, Arkland. Very good."
Everyone is like the few servants in the room do give a small applause to the demonstration.
Yes. Need to have it very nightly. Charlotte needs to give her favor to Arkland, you know, with a handkerchief or something. Oh, young hearts. Amina smiles to himself. And looks over to Finian and says, I hope the demonstration was of interest.
He nods.
If you wish to practice the swordsman's art, do let us know. We are happy to teach.
He nods again. I've been doing my best to train under my knight commander, but there's not always get the best opportunity to.
I'm sure Arkland would be happy to show you some of the ropes.
Arkland nods as he's as you see himself. I see he's holding a hand to slowly close up a wound.
Oh yeah, when the fight is over, here is full medic mode again.
Of course, Amnes. He kind of looks at you. I'll be fine. I can heal myself up.
I am the medic. I will deal it.
Silence.
One of you has medic. One of you is a medic with infinite use of the heal skill. One of you is a cleric with infinite use of being able to heal by prayer.
Restrain the specimen.
Apparently, God's not at work here. It is the doctor instead.
The doctor is in. Now then.
I mean, CL could heal check a dragon at this point quite well. So.
I mean, I need to heal Amanda, so same time I can heal Arkland.
Patch him up a little bit, yeah.
So I can work on multiple persons.
That implies Amnes took a meaningful injury.
Yeah. 36 damage is not nothing. Right.
Especially for someone who's half caster. So.
Yeah. I might as well then look over to Vickers. Now then, Spy Master. What is on the itinerary today?
I'll look up if any.
Check the events calendar.
Yeah. What is on the events calendar today?
On the events calendar for today, you do know there is a small ceremony being taken place at Evermore Abbey. It is expected those of a more religious persuasion, such as the Keeper and Father Landform, will be in attendance. Though there may be others attending as well.
Right.
Because you all know this less through social events calendar
Yeah.
and more through
The back channel, so to speak.
back channels, yes. The Viscount of Basque is currently slumming it down in the docks for some reason.
Yeah, why?
You don't know what he's up to, but he's currently down there negotiating with the various merchant ships down there.
Is he alone?
Hard to say.
Yes, all relevant information.
There was supposed to be a meeting at the Blue Palace, but your island is still on lockdown at the moment.
Odd.
Yes. Good.
But if the Viscount is making the mistake of prominent people in, my Guild 2 city of wandering alone at the docks, that might be an opportunity.
Beyond that, you also believe that there are several other individuals currently at the Grand Bazaar today, including Senna, Trajan Ma, and Lady Guyana.
Okay.
That's what you know what's going on this morning, at least. Apparently, the Grand Bazaar. There is a small folk entertainment going on at the moment. A small play.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant the plague. I was like, oh.
Not a plague.
Oh.
There's a small plague going on at the moment. There's the small one.
I mean, then a plague isn't usually a thing you go to attend.
Yeah.
Usually.
It's the last time I checked. None of you worship the Horseman of Pestilence, do you?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not in public.
And
Correct answer, also from.
I guess another question. Has our handling of the good Lord affected his influence in any way towards us?
Not yet. Partly because the influence track is for the Duchess's side of the alliance.
So. All right.
He's still very uncertain on what he wants to do with that. Though someone could spend some time here to try and push him to agreeing with the Duchess.
Does give us a pretty high boot if we go all the way.
well, both old lady Hernstein and Sina are heavily in our favor at the moment.
They're already at the end of the influence chart.
Yeah, Trajan Mar. Maybe, don't know much about him. Otherwise, it would be to sabotage Lanthorn and the Oathkeeper.
Or it'd be to spend time to split up and do your own independent things in the meantime. If there's anything you wanted to do. Or start your own social event if you wanted to summon someone to you.
There's we're pretty close to get our alliance thing like in on the lockdown here, so maybe we can look. Guess Father Lanthorn.
The thing is, this is like the current situation as we know of everything. It maybe not look like this in reality. We might not have enough information.
I mean, sure, but we need to act in some way.
That's true.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I would say that Father Lanthorn and the Orkkeeper are certainly two individuals we could influence directly.
If you wish to go involve yourself in religious event.
I mean, I wouldn't mind talking to the father.
Yeah, I mean,
So I do need to go for some shopping, but I can do that whenever.
yeah. I think doing that at least. I think we also need to show ourselves as well a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And not just hide in the morning. It's suspicious. I would ask or task Theo to keep an eye on Finian.
Yeah.
In case he gets the bright idea to pop out himself, or perhaps someone comes and to be alerted.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte and Arkland will also get similar instructions to keep an eye on Finian. Do not let him get kidnapped or wander away without supervision.
The trio can work together, I think, there very well.
Little adventure
Nope.
party. They get an escort
Yeah.
mission.
Oh joy, an escort mission.
It's quite important. It's a high
Mhm.
political value target, so
Mhm.
Admittedly, having an abjurer as one of the people on a protection duty is not the worst.
very true.
It's either that or we send them to assassinate the Viscount in the harbor.
That's also technically an option on the table.
You mean me?
I would send the squires because we need to be seen and nowhere near when that happens.
You're sending your squire to assassinate someone on the docks in broad daylight. joking. No way.
it's a quest.
Look,
They have to figure it out.
Look, one of the squires can do a tremendous amount of mental damage.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, like,
You is creepy as fuck.
if they get caught,
Mm. But how do you catch
Yeah.
someone who murders with their mind?
if this was 5e,
I mean,
would
I'm
tell you
just
you can,
saying, Vickers hasn't been caught yet.
I haven't been caught yet, so.
Technically,
I
he's
mean-
not a murderer if he hasn't been caught.
But I'm gonna get caught now because all my attacks leave marks, so.
I mean, I can go kill him. Like, I don't mind. I just need a way of getting away.
Yeah.
Do you have like phantasmal killers that you could cast on him?
I have these.
Have you ever considered transforming into a giant bird?
I can also shadow spell this.
Yeah, because
I-
spell spirit
Subtle
blast.
spells, spirit blast? What? Wow.
I think so.
That's insane.
I mean, you can subtle the casting of it, but it will still, but like
It will
the
still
visible
emanate,
effect of the
though.
spell itself was still the spell was still
But-
visible when it goes off.
Other option. I have Phantom Pain.
Uh-huh.
Deals
So I
persistent mental damage.
Yeah, but I know he's resistant to mental.
Ah, dang.
But I can just blast his soul.
In all else fails, murdering him is certainly a good option. It is a bit brazen.
Yeah.
It doesn't look the best on your reputation, but
I can just harass him if you want that.
Phantom prison.
But it's also the fact that, like, Eve herself is like it's either me or him, right? Like, if. Like,
Kind of.
like,
Kind
yeah,
of, but
so- but
Eve
maybe
is a
this
kind
is
of
the
wild
way.
card also.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Can also-
this is the land of politics, right? Like, isn't what you do, you find out some dirt about him, maybe what he's doing on the docks isn't entirely kosher, then use that to ruin him
Yeah.
instead of outright, murder in broad daylight.
Depends
Or-
on
I mean,
who you ask.
or otherwise use one of the various dishonored non-lethal assassinations.
Yeah, I mean, the other option instead of going to the Abbey is someone stays, have a talk with Finian here. Maybe Isaac and I and CL go down to the docks to find out what Bask is doing, and if it's, I mean, we know that the poison comes from one of the ships here, and it is the Myrthia house. So if we can somehow link him to doing a deal in broad daylight, then perhaps we can implicate him and get him to put his support behind us, or else he will, he'll have the information released.
I also put this on the table for you, Isaac, in particular. Following
Not
this,
Sion.
following a similar chain of command as a thing, for CL.
Yeah.
It was noted, of course, that in the event that Finian disappears, Bass takes control of the duchy.
Ooh.
If they
Yeah,
both disappear, Eve takes control of the duchy.
I know.
That's good.
If that's good or not, it's a different story. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends on Eve, what Eve wants.
I think digging up, like out of character, digging up some dirt on Bask is certainly a good approach here. I think it's
Yeah.
not something Amanas is good at or would consider that much. He sort of relies on his courtiers to
force.
deal that for him. If he acts, he's usually able to punch things.
Yeah, but that's why,
he prefers the direct solution to the problems.
Yeah.
yeah. But in terms of splitting up, I think there's things we can all certainly do instead of going together to something. I certainly have the means to shadow Bask. I mean, anyone else is welcome to come with, but I will be doing that for sure.
Yeah, Isaac will give you support.
Yeah, I can give you support.
We're the stealthy trio. Maybe Amanos can just be nearby in case things go horribly wrong.
That's
I
true.
don't
You
know.
can also maybe have a talk with Finian and maybe try and convince him a bit more if that's
I
what
mean,
you want.
I figured that might be something Cyrus is doing.
It's
Oh,
possible.
well, true.
Given the fact that given Finian's unique circumstance, you do not need to have the whole group together to influence him. Someone can do it during a split up.
Okay.
We already talked to him a fair bit, you know. Showed him some martial skill. But yeah. If it's something Amanas can do, like to help the influence track along, he can certainly sit around and talk to Finian a bit.
You can try and persuade him one way or another to go. So
He doesn't want to brute force the kid because he sees the vast power and difference here, and he doesn't view Finian as an opponent. Like he couldn't. He's a child. So
almost with a sense of honor to him, though.
Yeah, for sure. Like he realizes that Finian is in a very bad position here. He's basically kidnapped, you know, even if it was for his own good. And also, he is very conscious that he believes Finian is very tired of having grown-ups just constantly telling him what to do. So there needs to be a subtlety to this, and he's not bad, but it's not his strongest suit. He wants to be honest and give the boy some honest guidance, I guess. So yeah, maybe he'll stay around. Talk to Finian about statesmanship, you know?
Yeah.
Now you see, young Finian.
Something Amanas is excellent at, the statesmanship side of things.
I have a 13 in society. Listen here.
If the others want to go subtly off to stalk Count Bask, they can.
Yes, I would like to. It depends on how you both want to follow me, or if you want to like find your own way. But
I will put on a disguise on myself.
my idea would be to use Shadow Mark because I'm specifically following Bask, and I am avoiding notice, so you can follow the expert me, and I can quiet allies. If you want to follow me that way.
Yeah, I can follow with disguise.
Alright.
You see her putting a very much a plain disguise.
The question is Isaac going to join and be the free individuals all hiding behind the same lamp pole, or is he going to do his own method?
Yeah, I assume you would want to be like not do your own thing, but be nearby. Right?
I can't hear you, sheep, if you're talking.
Yeah, you're muted. Sorry.
I am muted. Isaac's gonna be a bird. He's gonna be nearby, close enough to intervene immediately. But I wouldn't know how to justify, you know, follow the master here.
Just to confirm, can you please specify the size of birds?
Tiny, small,
Okay.
one of those. Not massive hawk. That would be.
Just checking if the dock is under attack by a giant eagle.
No, it is the pest-shaped version, which I believe is smaller.
Tiny. You are tiny in pest shape. No larger than a house cat.
Yes, that one.
Which, admittedly, a house cat-sized bluebird is still rather big, but
I mean, there are birds that are that large.
they're like a very large parrot. A large barn owl.
I mean, it does mention tiny animals such as a cat, insect, which generally are pretty small, lizard or rat. So the size can go pretty low.
Insects are usually a bit smaller than that, but so be it, game.
Oh, I didn't make the rules.
Game do game, right? Don't miss insects. Also broad category, but we're not that. Like, are we talking giant tarantula?
It might be
Maybe.
something like a dragonfly, maybe.
I mean, there are insects in Pathfinder that are pretty freaking large.
Yeah.
It's true, but the question is, being an insect, that's not going to cause distress by anyone seeing it that large. So I think the last thing Isaac wants is someone trying to put the jar over him to take him outside.
Giant bee.
But okay. So we've got two sets of stealth going on here. Isaac can also technically choose deception, but I'm pretty sure you're going to choose stealth.
Yeah. what's your modifier, Isa, on stealth?
Untrained +4.
All right, so you're now treated as trained. So you add your level. Or sorry, proficient, not trained. Add your level, and then you add a +3 from me on top. And also, since we're following specific target with Shadow Mark, their perception DC is lower. So
Mm-hmm.
it says if you have a bonus, but that's not dark side. So
You can add a bonus of +14 to your stealth roll, Isa.
Yep.
And then give it a roll. Since we're Quiet Ally, as the lowest person, you get to roll.
Yes.
What is... Okay. That's average.
We've seen worse.
It's not bad. I am lowering his perception DC by 3. So technically a 30. If we're going by original. Which is not bad.
I mean, I could hero point it, but it's...
It could be worse, yeah. It's
could be worse.
50-50 basically. So it's up to you. But I think that's fine.
Please tell me if you're locking that in.
I mean, 27 would be a failure against like anyone level 10.
I mean, she is a gambling girl. I will hero point it.
That
Oh,
is
well.
worse.
Cannot do anything about that one. She is just sneaking around.
You aren't the most subtle.
No.
Isaac,
Yes.
Oh, when we find him, there's a one spell that I do want to cast.
oh, please let me know.
Yeah, I mean similar. I would have this up on myself.
But I'm gonna cast that through size for like 10 minutes and look around what is around him and so on.
Okay. Isaac, can you please give me a stealth check from your perspective?
I can. Just open?
Yeah, that's open, that's fine.
That is also not great. You know what? I'm gonna hero point that as well and regret it later. Yes. Excellent.
Remember the whole idea of someone actually trying to catch you in a jar at this point? As it turns out, as you are trying to stealth along, it is perhaps through no fault of your own, and perhaps purely by bad chance, but you struggle to maintain the distance of both being able to keep an eye on him and not getting too close to him as the bustling crowd moves through the docks. Particularly awkward when a large group of people carrying several crates and oddly panes of glass walk past you. You know, going about their working business, but awkwardly making it hard for you to keep an eye on Bask. Who you do come to a realization, might realize he's being followed. As he appears to have made a break for it.
So I have swift sneak, so I can move my full speed. So can I break off from CL while invisible and continue to tail him as he runs?
You'll have to try and re-find his tracks.
Yes.
You can try.
Okay, what would I roll for finding?
Tracking, unless you have to modify it, it's survival.
Can I get Isaac to help me in this?
I mean, I can also help. I'm trained in survival, and you can just pick me up. I have a way to you to pick me up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can find the trail, then I can.
I can try. I'm only trained, though. But
Obviously, Isaac, you're free to roll with scent for survival if you would like.
I will use the Cloak of Bat
absolutely.
and turn myself into a tiny rat. And jump on Isaac, Vikas.
I was gonna say you jump really high for a rat.
Also, per cloak of the back, it does say you can only turn into a bat via pest form.
Oh, okay. Then a bat. I'm a
Yes.
bat.
As there is a small vampire bat on your shoulder.
I'm a pocket bat.
See, I'm invisible though, so you probably want to go.
Oh,
under.
I didn't mean to roll with assurance. I somehow rolled with both wisdom and assurance. Great.
Please go
No.
ahead and roll normally then if you would like to.
Okay, it's definitely turned off this time. Hello?
No, it's not.
It's not.
Should be
Virtual
off by
accept-
default, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. No?
It's,
I'm
it's-
clicking that toggle every way it goes, but
Is it like a check mark in your actions or something for some reason?
no,
It
it's a
shouldn't be.
toggle in my roll, and it's currently on the left and says off.
Yes, which is off.
Yeah, it is off.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
That works.
Okay.
It's a bad roll. Can't do anything about it.
I am sorry to say that the Vampire Bat Squad has not yet picked up the trail. It is getting colder and colder. As for our tiny hummingbird, you have managed to find the trail again. Though it does appear he's definitely tried to make a break for it through the alleys to try and lose you.
It means he's got something to hide. Surely.
I mean, I would send a message to Isaac at this point. Be like, "Do you see him?" Where?
I mean, the answer is yes.
Where?
Try to follow? How am I going to describe where he's going while he's running?
And while you're currently a hummingbird.
I don't know. Like, surely there's street names, right? I think.
I think maybe. But I also can't track at full speed, I believe. I need to go half speed.
So you're trailing behind him.
Yeah.
Okay. You think you know where he's gone. The trail seems to lead down actually underneath the bridge into an area of the storm drains for the city. If it's a trap or not is a different question, but that's where his trail seems to have led.
All right.
It's up to you if you want to wait outside for the others or if you wish to hummingbird your way inside. There is a metal grate over it, but it turns out you're a bird, you can fly through it.
I'm just gonna wait. He knows better, I think. He can be patient. But if there's a metal grate, how did he get in?
It's not clear. You didn't see him go inside. It looks closed at the moment.
Hmm. Yeah, Isaac will wait for Vickers and see how to catch up. But he will investigate the grate to figure out, like, how, or is this like a false trail somehow? Seems unlikely, but
You kind of look around it. Since you're taking some time to kind of stop and wait for the others. You can see small, like, scrapings where some of the, like, mold and moss on the, like, for the storm drain has been kind of scratched. It looks like the grate can definitely be opened somehow. Kind of pushed
okay.
open. And you can, after not too much searching, find a keyhole on the grate.
Okay.
So presumably he somehow obtained the key. Or otherwise has magically unlocked it.
Well, I'm sure
does you-
once Vickers arrives.
The others will catch up after a few moments.
Hmm.
So the number of things that just interrupt you the way: a stand full of cabbages,
Of course.
a large street performance trying to attract you in. So busy out there.
Lovely. Okay. Well, he arrives. Atticus doesn't say anything. He's a bit wary. But I mean, he sees Isaac there waiting, so he'll try to investigate around the grate and make sure there's no traps first of all.
You can certainly do so.
Activate my trap finder. Search traps. I also have permanency invisibility if that's
It's perhaps a good thing Vickers was checking. As you notice on the stonework inside, there's a slight shimmer over where some of the moss is. Is that some kind of glyph on the wall? A magical rune on the wall to deter anyone following him.
He himself level. He himself will cast detect magic. Although no, this doesn't work on traps. I'm forgetting.
Yeah. Detect magic does not detect magical hazard or traps.
Yeah, I'm Arcana. Can I identify like what type of trap this is?
You may attempt an Arcana check to identify it, yes?
Yes. Forgot that I'm good at that.
Isaac will assist.
Okay.
No, he's never studied, but he can improvise.
Sure, it's a +2, right?
+1.
+1.
Okay.
Let me check the standard difficulties by spell level. Okay. The rune in question there is a relatively simple one, though perhaps relatively effective. As you have a tight, narrow storm drain. That glyph is cued as set of a lightning bolt,
Oh, wonderful.
potentially eviscerating an entire line of people following.
Is there a way to sabotage it? It doesn't work, or
You can attempt to sneak up to it, hopefully avoid being too kind of heavy-footed on the ground, and then try to like carefully disarm it using more traditional methods. Or if anyone is skilled in magic of their own, you could try to either counterspell it when it goes off, if you are capable of doing such, or just outright trying to dispel it, if you can do that.
Yes. Would Vickers know how it recharges? It's like a one charge attack, or it's like
It appears to be a one-time.
yeah, I
Right.
assume it's like a glyph of warding lightning bolt or something. That's
I mean, I could just summon my minion and send the minion there. I have the
It's
minion
true.
trigger the spell.
it's true, but I assume that if this goes off, he probably knows it goes off, right?
There's a high likelihood he'll know.
So if we can have it not
yeah.
go off, that'd be great, because then he might think he's fine.
I also want to check with my spirit sense if I, try to seek towards the drainage, water drainage. Can I sense any like presence in there?
You can sense 2 presences in there.
Yeah, I will inform others about that.
Okay. I'll gesture to the step back. I will attempt to perhaps like. I don't know if magical traps can be disarmed using thievery. Do you
They
need to
ca-
use like?
They can be, theoretically.
You like scratch out the rune or something?
Yeah, like bleed it out or something.
But you carefully have to scratch out the correct bits of the rune at the right time.
I will attempt to do that.
Think of it like the bomb disarmament,
Yeah.
which wire do you cut situation.
Before you go,
Yes.
can I do this?
In this case, because the way the
Have
because, because of the way the ward is currently aimed at you, you're going to have to be very soft on the ground to not accidentally trigger it.
Okay.
You're try to roll me an acrobatics,
Acrobatics. Okay.
or otherwise have a way not to touch the floor.
Way to not touch the floor. Let me see. Would my mobility feat give me that? No, that's just move without opening. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that allows you not provoke.
Provoke, yeah, it's not.
The thing is that I can go there without touching the floor, but I'm not trap guy.
Would foil senses technically work against a magical trap? Or no?
Probably not.
Yeah, no. I'll try the acrobatics. Try to softly.
Sure. Surely Vickers knows how to be soft on his soft on his feet, even if he's got a cane.
Yeah, I'll use a guidance on this one because if I fail this, I'm probably it's gonna go off anyway. So
Well, it's your next roll that you get the bonus.
yeah.
As you very carefully move up towards it, very softly and moving very slowly. As you approach right up to the glyph, you see it sparking and crackling.
So dangerous. Okay.
You can now attempt to disarm. Please note there will be consequences for failures,
Yeah, that's fine.
and a special consequence for critical failure.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. 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 You scratch out the rune bit by bit, little by little. You think it's safe? The crackling stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, you think it's safe? The crackling stopped.
I will test it first.
As you, just like try provoking it.
Yeah. I mean, I will. Yeah, because otherwise, like, someone else is gonna get zapped, and I'm probably the best to avoid it.
You can just try to come out and can send the minion in there. Test
True.
it.
True. Now would be the case to use the minion. Yeah. True.
You carefully back out.
And I will summon the minion and make it to be invisible as I send it forward.
As the minion heads inside and dances around. Nothing seems to happen.
Hey. Well. And I follow.
You follow?
Yep.
Nothing seems to happen.
Right, let's go.
Yeah. I don't know how long this lasts. Oh,
Okay.
get in here.
At least 10 minutes has passed at this point.
Yes.
Do I still sense 2% in the area?
You do. As you kind of sneak in and in. Would you like to make new stealth rolls?
Yes. Given that we're all together now, I guess we can use quiet allies again.
Sure.
So I assume.
CL, please roll again with your plus 14.
Yeah.
No pressure, Miss Vampire.
That's better.
Having a plus 18 on train is pretty good. Like, that's almost as much as my master rank.
Yeah.
I mean, it is because she's following the
From me.
experts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with the master.
Yeah. I don't know if Shadow Mark applies because considering we've kind of lost them, but I would still try and attempt.
We haven't lost him. Like, Isaac should still have the trail.
Yeah,
Isaac
it's,
is the trail.
Hasn't
it's a
too much
specific
time
target,
now.
so yeah.
As you
Alec has
sneak,
trail and
as you
two people
sneak
infest.
up, and we almost get the slightly cartoon scene of seeing 3 heads slowly poking themselves around a corner, one above the other.
Yeah. And the minion.
The minion's underneath, yeah, so it's 4 heads. As you kind of all peek around. And what you see is the Viscount Basque standing there, talking with a woman covered in heavy leather armor, blades at her side, and a shimmering portal behind her.
Ooh.
Small ethereal gateway, a small tear, a crack. As she kind of stands, bathed in the light from behind, like kind of silhouetting her a little bit. They seem to be chatting, and Basque seems to be getting rather upset with her.
Does it look like, if I could perhaps sense motive on her or them, does it look like she might just get sick of him and just like, what's going on here? What's the?
You can try to get a hunch if you would like to.
Yeah, give me a hunch. Let's try. Not a trap, so.
I'm so
Perception.
disappointed in my choices. I didn't prepare Wall of Stone for today because I thought I wouldn't need it.
But now there's a potential use for it.
Yeah, I could have just blocked off the portal immediately.
I mean, technically I have a wall spell, but that doesn't really block.
You kind of stare at it. It's not entirely clear. It's clear that Basque is pissed off.
Yeah.
Perhaps that the conspiracy is not working as well as he'd hoped. Currently. But it's not entirely clear. You can't get a good read out of the woman, partly because you can't really see her face properly. Or backlit. Her body language is exceptionally still, though. The sort of stillness that Vickers is only used to seeing from a trained killer.
Ah, okay. Is the stature similar to like our assassin?
Around 5'9", same build. Very well could be the same person, or someone related at least.
Question is, do we go in now or do we wait? Don't know if I want to tussle with them, with only 3 of us here.
It's up to you if you want to try and interrupt or do something to them.
I mean, we outnumber them.
Do, but last time.
I mean, last time you were unrepaired.
It's true.
Don't suppose you can somehow get a message to Amanos? So you can at least start making his way here?
I can. I can.
Maybe you should.
But
maybe you should do that.
it's limited.
Limited how?
25 words.
Well, the dogs. Great. Come quick. We can't wait. Something on those. You'll make it work.
The dogs, this street level bridge at the storm drains with Viscount and the assassin. I guess something like that. Amanas, you will receive a sending.
Amnes, you have mail.
Amanas was discussing something in the realm of realpolitik with Finian. We'll stop and listen to the message. And then we'll look to Arkland and say, alright, you guard the estate, I need to go. And he will rush down, falling for his trusted steed Glory.
It's almost that perfect moment as you kind of run outside, and you can just basically leap as Glory kind of catches you.
Yep. We have that special bond. Leaping up into the saddle and then full speed through the city.
What's your response? Because you have
My
25
response
minutes.
is just, I'm on my way.
All right. Should we wait? That's
It's a
I can wait outside. You can keep watch of him here. Oh,
Okay.
if it's like to set that Amanas can come here because I can pass the trap that touching the water.
yeah. We'll see. How far was it from the entrance of the grate to where we are? Have we is it a straight line or is it like winding?
It's not too complicated to find.
Okay.
It's mostly straight with just kind of a small bend at the end of it.
Yeah. I think for now, Vickers will wait to see whenever it seems like they're finished their conversation. Obviously, and see where the situation is at that point.
Join us.
Yep.
Can you either, kind of think about the best way of doing this. Can either you give me a athletic check from Glory or a nature check from yourself to see how fast you're riding here?
Right. I don't. Can I see Glory's stats? Because I don't know
Should be able to.
better. Let's see. Fees. Yeah. Yes.
Should be that bad.
Oh, he's pretty good.
It's basically a question of either how good Amanus' riding is or how athletic is Glory.
We'll go with his athletics. Actually, they
Okay.
are almost as good as mine.
Feel free to roll that in secret to me. This will determine how quickly you can get here. Because obviously the others have no idea how long it's going to take you.
Yep.
And GM roll. Oh.
Okay.
5 years later.
As
The dogs. What? I don't never been.
remember those people walking past with panes of glass again?
Yeah, it's like 10 of them. It's like a to jump all. You had to jump all of them in a row, and you just
Oh
failed.
no! Just smashed through all the panes of glass.
Yeah.
You're down there listening to the conversation kind of go back and forth and back and forth. No, it's very short, very quiet and hard to hear answers from the woman. Though they are getting kind of shorter and more pointed, the more that Bask keeps just like ranting and raving.
I mean, given his volume, what are they saying? Like, surely we can hear something.
You can definitely make out Bask's side of the conversation pretty well. He's sort of forgotten the whole, indoor conspiracy voice.
Yeah.
The gist of what you're getting from him can roughly be summarized as: you told me you'll dispose of him. Where is he? No, that's not good enough. Him being missing is not good enough for us. If there's not a body, my authority is going to be questioned. What in the world am I paying you for? Just wait until I speak to Zenrik about you. I'll tell him everything. It's around this point. Isaac.
Yeah.
Isaac in particular.
Yes.
As he's making these threats towards them, you've subtly noticed something from the portal behind her. The glint that you realize there is a crossbow currently aimed out of the portal towards where the Viscount is.
All right. By whom? Like, can I tell?
You can't. It's not the easiest to tell through it, but there appears to be. Actually, you do sort of recognize them. You remember how there were those individuals you beat up on the Viscount's own island before? Well, not really beat up. You stealthed past the ones who looked like they might have been up to no good, and of course, trying to. You saw through the scrying before.
Oh, yeah.
The same sort of markings of some sort of ruffians back there.
Alright, aiming a crossbow at the Viscount.
Mm-hmm. They look
Alright.
looks like they're holding fire, waiting to see what the woman's signal is.
I think we should intervene because Viscount's gonna get killed and not by us.
I mean, as soon as he hears that, Vic is going. Like he trusts
Yeah.
Isaac here, so he's just.
I think we go in.
Yeah, I mean,
think-
his idea. Obviously, we're all initiative first, but like his idea would be dimensional assault directly in front of the Viscount and her, because they're like side by side, I guess, and just like take his fight.
I assume you inform me about it, so I can come.
Yeah, but you heard Isaac say it, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So you're planning to you want to try and leap in right now.
Yeah. He's an asshole, but he's better alive for us now that we know that he's basically fucked himself over, and we can blackmail the shit out of him, and probably
Exactly.
grateful that we save his life. So we'll see how good the initiative is. My part, but I'm definitely stealthy. There we go. Yeah.
Come on. 34.
Fast.
Alright. I can work with 34.
Eyes are slowing me down. I see too much.
Isaac,
Yes.
You're as you kind of break cover to try and do whatever you're going to do, you are acting slightly ahead of everyone, though it's only like milliseconds of difference right now.
Alright, like seeing the crossbow aim for the portal, Isaac has an idea to stop that. He will cast Wall of Wind in between the portal and ideally the assassin and the Viscount, which is a wall of shimmering, well, wind, really. The breeze lover Isaac conjuring forth air, which blocks all physical ranged attacks, such as arrows, bolts, sling bullets, and other objects of similar size.
Interesting.
Nice.
It is the only wall I've prepared. I would have liked the stone wall, but this has to do.
As there is this deafening gale, as suddenly a high-speed wall of wind is in this like really compact tunnel. The tunnel almost sounding like a bit of a horn blowing out into the city. Convenient for Amnos trying to find his way here. But, well, that wall is certainly in the way. Is there anything else Isaac would like to do currently, kind of still round the corner right now? Are you wanting to get closer? Are you wanting to draw any weapons? Or use the
No,
wild?
this
That's
takes
full
all
action,
my
yeah.
actions.
Yeah, understood.
Walls are 3 because they're strong.
Yep.
CO, you're
Nice.
acting milliseconds later.
So there's a question regarding to this spell. There's a difference in the wiki and a difference on this Pathfinder of how this spell works. The spell of Spirit Blast. Because in the wiki, if I get close enough, I'm asking if I can use this spell to target the crossbowman in the portal and just damage his spirit.
I mean, it'll still damage him regardless. But
Yeah, because this basically is if the body is elsewhere and it goes through like the portal, but it has also 30 feet of limit.
I'm happy for you to target him through the portal. You will have to spend an action to move closer out of cover.
I would be able to do that.
You can stride up and then spirit blast the guy in the portal if you would like to.
Yeah, the guy with the crossbow, you know.
Understood.
So DC 30, 42 save for him.
Give me a moment.
As his soul is in danger.
I get blasted to the shadow run.
Pretty much.
Ooh. Close one. Still half though.
Yeah, I
Please,
still have.
please roll the spirit damage for me. How much do you rend his soul?
30.
Nice.
Ow.
Of
That is-
actual spirit damage.
It's still a reasonable amount of soul rending as you see him stagger slightly. In this exact moment, he fires off the crossbow bolt, perhaps also because he just had his spirit blasted. The arrow moving clearly with some kind of enchanted bolt heavily forward, and then just getting caught up in the wind wall and deflected.
You might be enchanted, but you still have to obey aerodynamics.
The woman looks like glares over seeing all of you suddenly rushing out. No one crosses us, Bask. No one.
Yeah.
She kind of this assassin takes a moment kind of looking over kind of you I suppose it's really just Ciel who's kind of broken out of cover right now. But let's see, just double check. As she kind of grits her teeth for a slight moment, as you see her like briefly kind of reaching around her her like various bandoliers for a moment, but then come to the realization that nothing she really like can use right now is going to penetrate the wind wall properly. As she will retreat into the portal behind. The portal will close behind her in that case, as the wind wall rushes past. Unless Vickers wants to suddenly dive through the portal. Then you still have initiative.
Do it.
I mean,
Terrible idea.
You know, Jonas is in the bath right now. If he comes back and I've jumped through the portal, he will actually strangle.
Or going through a portal alone that you know is closing.
No, that would be so dumb.
It would
No.
be dumb.
Then I presume you let her escape, or are you doing something else?
Can I target her?
I mean, you can target her technically, yeah. She's retreating. Like there's a few seconds where the portal's still open right behind her. You can still see her.
Oh right, but she's already gone through it, I guess.
Yeah, like she already had her initiative. She stepped through the portal.
Yeah. If there's only one thing I can do and I can perceive her, then
You can perceive her. Yeah.
I'm going to use my eye And I'm going to attempt to cast mind reading on her.
Ah.
See if her surface thoughts will let me know where the fuck she went to. So here's the spell. Unfortunately, my DCs aren't that great. But, wait, is that right? Hold on. It should be 27, because it's using item DC.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why I did that, but it should be 27, sorry. But yeah, it's will save.
Oh, I see why. Let's just repost that out.
Thank you.
It was using your charisma was the problem, not your intelligence.
Oh, weird. Okay, yeah. Oh, because it counts as an 8 or something. But yes, I will, as she breaches through, I'm going to attempt to cast this. Okay, well, I do, actually, yeah, I find out.
You find out
her-
whether the target's intelligence is higher, or equal, or lower to yours.
Yes.
As it turns out, your assassin in question is not as intelligent as you,
Okay.
but you aren't able to dredge up enough thoughts.
No.
Though actually, you know, okay, that's all you're learning on a success.
Yeah, it's not that great, actually.
That's weird. That a critical success on the save would have been better for you.
What is?
Oh no! Wait, no. Critical
Because then
success.
she knows what I'm
the-
thinking.
The target would be okay. That spell confused me a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
the target gets to read some of your thoughts on a critical success.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Yeah. Don't do that.
No.
As it works, as the spell works basically backwards, or they have more will than you.
Yeah.
I would have failed to do what I wanted.
As
Or
the-
failed this. Yeah.
As the portal then closes. Funny enough, also you hear horse hooves outside.
Yeah.
Because I actually would have a way to prevent her. Kind of. But I wanted to do damage. Or something.
It's fine.
Understandable.
My
Because,
other
you know,
option was to attempt to paralyze her, but I mean, I don't know.
I could have tried this, but it is,
It's incapacitation, yeah. We don't know if it's.
well,
Same
it's just
fire.
it's illusion. It's not a.
Yeah, it's true.
Viscount Mask is looking rather backed into a wall as the three of you stand there, and Amina slowly conks up the passageway behind.
I'm gonna cast this on Viscount. So he doesn't go anywhere.
The Viscount is contained.
I think we could chase him down pretty easily at this point.
Yes, but it's more for the effect of feeling he's cornered. Even more.
Also, you should be eternally grateful to us that we just stopped him from getting murdered by the very people he hired, right?
He's the Viscount. He is not ever grateful.
Yes,
Get him
well,
out!
perhaps.
Get him out of this infernal box. What have you done?
I'm sorry, you will have to wait before a certain someone comes to talk to you.
Well. Viscount Bask. You have gotten yourself into
Who's there?
quite the predicament, haven't you?
Whoever it is outside this box, show yourself. You see him banging at the illusionary box because he can't actually see out of it.
I mean, I could probably signal to Seal to remove the illusory box.
Sure.
I mean, he gets to save every time he attempts to interact with it, so.
For sure, we can say you dismiss the box as it fades down, as he then goes pale cold as he sees you at point blank.
I will start casting this on the area right away as the box is gone. Even if it takes 10 minutes, I know. I'm just preparing.
Oh, your lordship.
It seems to me that your hirelings turned on you, Bask. Almost killed you. In fact, if it was not for us, my entourage, you would be dead. Dead in a sewer.
As he grits his teeth looking at all of you. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't prove anything here.
You seem to be at a misunderstanding, Bask. This is not a court. You are quite literally at my mercy. So you can let go all of the pretense. Just come clean. Or I will simply finish what they started.
Well, the good thing of a locked sewer is that it's hard to get into, and the smell won't attract any attention.
There's a lot of rats down here, isn't it, Isaac? Rats are good to eat.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
they
fresh
eat
food.
everything.
Yes. No one will ever find you, Bask. No one.
As he hesitates for a moment, as... Can I get a perception check from people?
Yeah, sure.
Hidden
What
mode.
check?
Perception.
Is this regarding Lucian's motive?
No.
Yes, we do it hidden.
Amnes is a bit...
Oh,
Amnes in particular is a bit too blinded right now, being like right up in his face to notice this. Ciel and Isaac, the more to Ciel than anything here, you notice him as he's kind of like fumbling and trying to, make what tiny bit of space he can between Amnes and him, given he's back to a wall. You see him fiddling with a ring he's got. That Ciel, you think you know what that ring is based on your talks with Eve. You're pretty sure he's trying to subtly send a message.
Okay, Ciel will say, remove the ring, he's sending a message.
Alright, the gauntleted fist of Amanas will just snap like a steel trap on him.
I mean, make an attack roll against
Oh, gladly.
poor old Bask.
Oh,
Uh,
I would also like to do something, but we'll wait and see if this works first.
Bask, I have bad news for you here.
Yeah.
It's technically not enough to interrupt. It's one short.
no.
I mean, the Viscount is
We
afraid,
are-
right?
I mean,
Is he afraid? Have I intimidated him by talking to him?
to be fair, I assume we are right next to him, so technically I have gang up, so you are flanking, even if I'm not flanking.
And you know what I could also argue right now? You haven't made your free demoralize yet, Amnes.
It's true.
Oh,
It's
Go
the
for it.
start of combat. Sure, let me give him a go. He has a
oh.
he has a -1 to resist because of the aura.
Well, as it turns out, you just succeed on the nose to interrupt him.
There you go.
Nice.
Bam!
As you are you going to just go and take the ring, or are you just going to interrupt him by just punching him in the face?
I think I just break his arm. I think that's what he does. He just karate chops, you know.
As
The
he
arm.
lets out a guttural cry.
And then take the.
You unholy Christian, what did... Oh.
Amonas will you know, just shake some of the blood from the gauntlet. Say,
His sending ring is currently just kind of bounced along the stone below.
you have tried to play the game, Viscount, and you have lost. You are in a completely untenable position, and your only chance to get out of here is to throw yourself upon my mercy.
The rumors say you and Mercy don't particularly get along.
Amna smiles, indicates towards Vicus. I do get along with Mercy quite well, in fact.
We are well acquainted.
Fine. What's it you want?
Easy. You withdraw all claims to the boy's throne, and you move yourself into exile.
You can't be serious.
It really is that simple. You have been a thorn in our side for a long time, and you are also corrupting influence on the boy and his rule over a land that he, as far as I am concerned, loves dearly and wants the best for. You, on the other hand, only wants one thing, and that is what's best for you. You are unworthy of rulership.
Boy doesn't deserve his position.
Enough to murder him over it.
Kind of glares at you.
Oh, don't play coy. We were sitting there for longer than the time you thought we were. We heard everything.
It's nothing personal against the boy. There's more than one party that want him dead.
But you just
Like
decided to
Sennarig.
carry it out. You are staggeringly noble, aren't you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The great tradition of hunting accidents hasn't been available to us.
Jonas quirks an eyebrow. You are not helping your case particularly well right now.
I mean, you're basically telling me to throw away everything right now.
You get yourself a nice mansion on the countryside, and there you retire and can live for the rest of your life in, well, in luxury, I suppose. Or you die here. The choice seems simple. You have wrought this upon yourself.
Would you like to try and coerce your target?
Yes. I didn't
Please.
say... No, I didn't
Roll
say...
for coercion.
Would you say that I am physically menacing my target?
You broke his arm, so I'd say yes.
Right.
Yeah. Add your strength.
43.
Ooh.
I might have killed him if I had that feat.
I mean, he is frightened still, right? So
I will inform you. If you had scared to death, you would currently be having a heart attack.
Yeah.
ah.
I do have lasting coercion, so it'll be coerced for longer.
Oh yeah, how long does it last?
It's
for?
like a week now.
Oh, that's enough for
I
this
think
whole
I
thing.
think with a crit it might be even longer, but I'm not sure.
Let me see. Yeah, it's a week. Maximum time.
I believe your targets still become unfriendly to you after all this is said and done. But
Yeah.
I feel like he is unfriendly towards us.
It
think
can't
it's already
get
in
worse, you know.
He is unfriendly. I know it. I have seen it.
what? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. As he curses something under his breath. Why do you care for the boy so much? Is it the promises that you've made to Silver Queen? Wouldn't you rather have that land under someone you can control instead?
Amras shrugs and says, I don't particularly care that much for the boy. I just prefer him over you. And you I loathe, which is a strong motivation for me. But fear not, my good Viscount. You will have your chance at redemption, I am sure, as we shall prepare a lovely manor for you, close to Sorakai, where you will stay in your pension and as my guest for the, well, foreseeable future. Oh, don't
Are you
worry.
basically threatening to put under permanent house arrest?
Oh, yeah. Up in Sorakai. I'm not letting him go from here. Absolutely not. We have long distance teleportation. We'll send him up there. Be received by Auntie Mikara and taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have other places to go, Bass, but, you know, as your friend said, they won't forget what you did.
Technically, we're saving your life. Some gratitude would be nice.
You can see the 1,000 greedy gears in head trying to find a way out. But he's also
We've been saying this for
very
months.
clearly aware that it's buying you out. It's not something he's necessarily capable of.
No. Honestly, Bask, would you honestly believe that you could make it out of this city alive if we let you go, even? You have seen what these assassins can do.
As you say that, the gears stop kind of spinning, as you can see on him. Nine hells. Fine, I know it. I know you're right there.
Excellent.
That bitch would track me across the sea to kill me if she wanted to.
Oh, undoubtedly. If she is who I think she is.
That not a card you know yet?
Amras will sigh slightly theatrically and say, Lady Seal, you can see to his broken arm. I'm sure you can do something for it. We will call upon my court mage to transport you to safety, Viscount.
Just kind of bites. He kind of just bites down. Just he doesn't have a good response to you.
In that case,
You've not given him a good out here.
no.
So
No.
That was certainly the intent.
And if you want to be rid of the shadow of an assassin, or well, the master of my caliber over your head, perhaps some information will help me eliminate your problem for you. Give your retirement something to actually enjoy.
Sorakai can be quite beautiful. And very peaceful. Good for your health. And
a nice cold brisk walk in the morning will do him good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as Vickers has pointed out, we are certainly no friends of these assassins. And I'm sure we can work together very well in the future. But first, I think we will, I guess we'll escort him out back and let, when Haldamir's back, have him teleport Bask up to Sorakai, pretty much.
You can have it arranged. If you would like to, you can even just contact Auntie Makara saying you have pickup.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can do the sending message to Auntie.
Yeah, just get him out of here, and we'll commandeer like a small villa or something on the outskirts. Plop him in there under guard. He will be taken care of. He'll have it comfortable. but he will be absolutely disconnected from any political influence.
The non-lethal assassination methods,
Yes, murder him
Yep.
politically.
which admittedly do come with the advantage of not having everyone's relation with you going down.
And Eve has what she wants. Well, not technically yet.
I mean,
actually.
he is going to, of course, be required to write an official statement that he retracts his claim to the throne and, his titles and whatnot, and decide to retreat to a quiet life in the countryside.
This is going to have two. This is going to have two major results. One, Bask will no longer be penalising the Duchess of the Alliance track here,
Big difference.
as obviously he's no longer going to be able to, as he soon won't be in the city. Secondly, without him present, the votes for House Marifia now all get transferred to Eve.
Yes.
So her potential influence goes up, I guess.
If you will check Eve's influence tracker, I will be making an amendment to it.
Yeah.
I like seeing all the cursors trying to find out which of these
Yeah.
people is Eve.
This is Eve.
I
Right
mean-
here.
Maybe he was here. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my scroll wheel to work. Been bad for a while.
As her total vote she's giving you has gone up by +2 from +3 to +5. As it turns out, there's no one in House Marifia to say she can't vote this way now.
Nice.
She hasn't been formally put in as the new Duchess yet. New Countess.
Now we need to only befriend him.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that seems like a rather successful morning you had.
Yeah. Didn't realize it was gonna end up this way, but that was great.
Your group can return your back with Bask being removed. Sorry, Paul Bask. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay. What time are we at? Probably a good time for us to finish for today.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good end.
Good victory.
Honestly, you probably will not need to make it into day 5, as you'll probably be able to finish up everything you need probably today.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Day 5 will be what shopping.
Shopping spree.
Yeah. Getting ready for the eventual shitstorm I'll have.
So I do want to influence the father, someone.
Mm.
Because if he goes under us, it would be good if he's somewhat like us, or is neutral.
I think he likes us. He's just unsure, and we have him in a disadvantage, which is not good for gaining someone's trust or likeness. Is to keep them kind of prisoner.
You're in an interesting position, because Finian, in theory, has the most number of votes out of anyone for this. Well, in theory, if his court doesn't block him.
Yeah.
Depending on who he sides with, could have a massive effect on the overall situation. Like you could have completely rip things out from the Duchess and try to get him to side with you and just get all the lands down here.
I think it's just better to leave Duke to do his own decision.
If he decides to support us, that's unfortunate for the Duchess, I guess, but she should have spent more time with him, I suppose.
True, but
She can lease the land from us.
I don't think she agrees it.
But as it stands, it's true. A young noble like him doesn't have the ability to try and go full independent right now.
We'll talk to.
And he's stuck between basically: does he bow his head to the Duchess, bow his head to the Empire or bow his head like you.
Or does he just leave?
I mean, or he gives up on everything, yeah.
Not a position that I envy. No. Not at all.
I'm sure Haldimir will have an opinion, especially given the fact that he's also the he's also blood relations to your neighbors,
Yeah.
as he is the grandkid of the Ferelden Duke.
A lot to catch up on, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. But more politics for next time. But probably the ending of the politics for next time.
Okay. Recording here.